Hello, gorgeous angels. Welcome to your October predictions. This is a new type of video that I'm going to be doing, so let me know in the comments and by giving the video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and I'll be making sure that I do more of them. But anyway, let's dive into your monthly reading. Let's see how October is going to be for you. Timestamps are down below, so you can just jump straight into it. But before you do, I'm doing a giveaway during this video. So if you want to enter for a personal reading with me, then what I want you to do is put down the affirmation that comes up for your sign in the comment section below. So let's say you're a Pisces and you get I'm doing my best and that is enough. I want you to type that in the comments and that will be your entry. All right, my angels. So aside from all that, I wish you guys all the best. Let's dive into your reading. So the month of October for you is an interesting one. So if you want to enter for the giveaway or in general, this is going to be your affirmation for the month of October. And it is, I radiate confidence and positivity. And this says, you are your thoughts. Always choose to speak and think nicely about yourself, and the results will show quickly. All right, my angels, so it's how you're showing up in the world is important in October. And what's interesting is I did pull you out a little animal spirit. One of the first ones that came out was the starfish. Now, the starfish is an interesting one. It says that you're absolutely beautiful and you have great energy, and your outward appearance definitely is doing things in the month of October. It's great. But Spirit's kind of saying that during the month of October, just be aware that you are not relying too much on superficial things in life. And that can be your appearance. It can be focusing so much on what's going on in your outside world that your inside world is struggling or suffering, right? So you might be, gaining more money, but maybe you're feeling like you're losing your spirit, right? Or you're not connected to yourself as much. Maybe you're not as happy anymore. So there's just this energy of what you might be relying on during this time. Okay, it's just a little bit of a reminder not to focus too much on the superficial, and to remember to tap in with yourself. All right, and you also have the butterfly that came through, which of course is a sign of transformation, right? Of the fact that you are transforming. And what's interesting is this could really be a big sign that you guys are starting to go inwards a lot more in the month of October, meaning that you guys are starting to recognize maybe your spirituality a bit more, or your religious beliefs a little bit more. You're going within, and I think you're starting to question certain ways that you've been doing things. And so it's a very reflective month, which I like. It is Libra season, Scorpio season, so it is all about those layers and bringing balance. So it's quite a good season for that. But for you guys, I really feel like you're just tuning in a bit more, and a lot of your transformation might be that you're starting to realize that you're changing, and what you used to value is not so important to you anymore, which feels like a good transformation because you're turning into a butterfly, meaning that there's more possibilities out there for you with the shift that you guys are undergoing. Now, your external will absolutely change because of what you're doing in your internal as well. So it's kind of that mirror of life. So you're going within and it's changing what's going on outside of you. Let's carry on, though. I've got some other cards I want to pull out for you for the month of October. You guys have enlightenment. Wow. So I told you, it does feel like a spiritual shift you guys are going through, where you're really channeling in God, spirit, the divine. You're really tapping into wisdom, right? So I love that energy. And I like that this card is a bit of a ship. And what's interesting is it looks a little bit like a flame instead of an actual sail. So I wonder if this is the fact that you guys are getting more inspired. I do feel like in the month of October, you're going to have more inspired ideas. So pay attention to your dreams, but also pay attention to these little random aha moments, because I feel like you can really do big things with this. So this could be career based, right? You just decide, actually, this is a really good product I can create a business around. I feel like there will be success if you actually take action on some inspired ideas that come through. They're coming straight from spirit, by the way, so I'd listen to them. Okay, and of course this boat here represents that you're moving forward. Okay, it's some sort of travel or trip that is going on, at least spiritually. Okay, what's going on for Aries in the month of October? What do you got? You got the Age of Light, and it says you've been training for this for lifetimes. So it's very likely that whatever shift and transformation that you guys are going through is going to feel familiar in some way too, okay? Because it's something you've been training for. Okay, what is your soul calling you to do? Because it's going to lead you somewhere that you are already familiar with. That's interesting. Let's get you one of these. Aries, October. higher power. So all of this is saying in the month of October, you guys are connecting to spirit, connecting to God. Okay, this is saying that your third eye is opening. So you guys are definitely going to be seeing things a lot deeper, right? Not just with your two eyes, but with your third eye also. So signs, synchronicities, right? You might be seeing more spiritual signs, whatever that is for you, whether it's a specific bird or a feather or whatever it is. You are going to start to see more of it. You're seeing more of spirit. You're connecting to a higher power. Maybe even tapping into your higher self as well. There is this communication with the divine that's going on for you in the month of October. We're very spiritual. Weird energy. October for Aries. Some specifics, please. What do we got? We got rat. So in the month of October, you might find that someone is working against you behind your back. So you might be finding out who that is. You have hand, which says in need of help and assistance and guidance. So you could be helping someone could be helping you. And then you have tiger, which says doing something risky, taking a chance in the month of October. Second to your tarot. Overall energy of the month of October for Aries. 6 of Pentacles. So you guys are definitely going to be working on your health, your routines, your day-to-day. That could also include your career and your work, right? It's about how you're showing up daily is going to be shifting and changing, and you're going to be creating more balance here. This is a really good time to work on your routines and your health and your habits, okay? So you can bring to balance this area, and also paying attention to who you're giving your time and energy to. You're really going to start to see in the month of October what is taking from you and not giving anything back. And you're going to start to really have to align a little bit better with that to bring that into balance. Maybe giving less to certain people or pulling your energy away from certain people, or maybe it's how you spend your money, right? Whatever you're putting into, it's a really good time to reevaluate in the month of October. So you can change, all right? So you can bring more balance in your life and see more results. How are you showing up though? How is Aries feeling in the month of October? Four of Pentacles. I do see that you're going to be finding a lot more energy, which feels nice. And I don't usually see that with this card, but because of what you're doing, I feel like you're starting to be more, I want to say selfish, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I feel like you're starting to decide that, okay, I want to keep this for myself for a little bit longer, meaning your energy. So what I'm seeing is actually you building something within. So maybe you would spend a lot of energy on, you know, like spending money or going out with certain people, and it would be distracting for you. There's nothing wrong with, by the way, going out with friends and having fun. But the Four of Pentacles tells me that you're starting to understand that something's been taking your energy. So you're calling it back into yourself. That's how it's coming up for me. You're building a very strong foundation within yourself. So you guys will be saving a lot more in the month of October. You guys are also going to be protecting your energy. You might find yourself withdrawing a little bit because you're starting to see that some people are not, you know, might actually enjoy taking from you, for example. This is a really good card of protecting your energy and also protecting your resources. So that can be your time, that could be, you know, your value, what you bring to the world. You're starting to be a bit more lenient about who and what you're giving it to. And interestingly enough, 10 of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck, which is what you're aiming towards, that abundance. So you're going to start to see an increase in your finances once you start to hold back a bit more and start to place a bit more boundaries on, again, what you're giving your resources to. And you'll start to see you're going to double up on that. All right, let's see what challenge might arise. The Ace of Wands, which can be a challenge for most, right? It's finding passion or finding inspiration or motivation to do things. So because you've got very grounded energies with the Pentacles coming through, what your challenge might be in the month of October is that there's not a lot of spark. There's not a lot of passion, or there's not a lot of motivation. And that could be a challenge for you because you are a fire sign. Maybe you're waiting to feel something, you know, and it might not come up in the way that you need it to. So I'm just going to look into that a bit more. Why is the Ace of Wands a challenge? The Star. Interesting. So what I feel is that you're really in your emotional world a bit more, because they're showing me just lots of water, which you can see in this card too. So this is a time of cleansing. It's not a time to be a fireball of energy. It really is more of a, not not a slow month, but I do feel like it's a month of kind of like slowing down. It's not really about rushing and motivation and inspiration. It's also how you show up without that. So building discipline in your life, but not in a hardcore way. It feels more in a nurturing way. With the Star card being here, it is about your wish fulfillments, your dreams, also about your community and healing this area of your life. Being a challenge. You know, water and fire don't mix very well, right? Because the water will always put the fire out. So I feel like at this time, it is a really big time for you to heal. It's a really good time to you to look at what needs healing in your life, right? Is it your health? Do you need to have better health? Is it about relationships, how you show up in relationships? It's a really big time to kind of, what I'm seeing is, yeah, slowing down, and temperance is the same. It's about bringing balance to find progress. So not everything is spark, fire, and passion. So if you don't feel that, then don't worry. Spirit's saying that this is a good thing because they're wanting you to cleanse your energy. What is the advice for Aries? Ten of Swords, which is about letting things go, right? Tens are about completion and endings. And your advice is the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. So it could again be about letting something go or allowing yourself to transform, right? Letting go of the old version of you, right? That person doesn't exist anymore. You're a new you. And instead of wishing you could be your old self or have the old things, this is a really beautiful time to go, okay, I understand that I might not ever return to the old me, and that's okay. Or I might not ever have that old thing anymore. Whatever has come to an end. The Ten of Swords needs a bit of acceptance so that you can actually get back up again and move on with a new life. And you can create whatever life you want for yourself in this new chapter, okay? So it's almost like instead of holding on to the past or holding on to things that you might be in a bit of denial about letting go of, it's a really important time to kind of go, okay, I am where I am now, and I can move forward once I understand that something has to be let go of, right? This is someone being stabbed in the back a bit here and just defeated. Why is this here? I'm going to use another deck. Why is the Ten of Swords the advice? Seeing a white dove. The Devil. Releasing fears. Releasing toxic behaviors, bad habits, obsessions, codependency, addictions. The Devil is also material world too, and the Five of Wands being here as well. Ego. Letting go of ego. So that's an interesting one for you. Your advice is to let go of ego. And that definitely could be to do, related to this whole fact that you guys are going inwards a lot more. And that Spirit was saying in the beginning of your reading that it's you're withdrawing from the superficial and starting to go inwards a bit more to really find what matters to you the most. So, maybe before you would spend your money on designer bags, I don't know, being very like, just giving an example out there. But now you're deciding, actually, do you know what? That's not helping me to get towards other financial goals that I've got. So, and also it doesn't matter, what looks good. So I do feel like there's a bit of an ego death, which is not easy, by the way, to start to go, okay, you know what? Like I have to not care about how people perceive me or about how I want people to perceive you, like blah, blah, blah. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Don't want to be boring for you guys, but it does feel like the key word here is ego, releasing that part of yourself, okay? Not needing to care about other people's opinions or judgment or even your own opinions about other people's judgments too. So they get one more for that Devil energy. It's also about releasing a Capricorn for some of you, or again, just releasing a toxic connection with someone, or Three of Pentacles, a conflict for some, so you can actually build upon something, right? The Three of Pentacles is suggesting that something has been distracting you and it's not helping you to actually take action, right? So maybe this whole like, what can I say? I like the fake it till you make it at times, but what I'm seeing in your reading is that sometimes in life, and it happens, I don't want to judge anyone, this might not resonate for everyone, but just what I want to say, in the month of October, you're really starting to understand that it doesn't matter what people think about you or how you look to others, because I just feel like maybe trying to look like you got it all together is actually what's depleting you, right? So it's almost like this ego or this mask that you might have, and I'm not saying that you're a bad person for it, it's very normal, it just feels a bit like you're starting to understand that you've been focusing too much on how you're perceived and actually doing the actual work, because Three of Pentacles is building a foundation, is building on something, working on something. So this is a really good time to not just talk about what you're doing. It's really time to do it. Not talk about who you want to become. It's time to actually become it. You know, it's that kind of energy of actually grounding it now. I don't know who I'm speaking to there, but that's what I got for you, my gorgeous angels. Oh my goodness. So I hope this reading has been helpful. Good luck for the month of October. I wish you guys well. I hope you guys have an amazing month, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, Taurus. So I pulled out the spider for you guys, which is saying that the month of October is going to be all about you creating prosperity for yourself and abundance. The spider is like the Eight of Pentacles for me. So it says that the work that you put in, you get back out, but it's a really important time to focus on the process and the journey and not just the results, so that you can be a bit happier during the process, right? And then you also have this affirmation. So if you'd like to enter for the giveaway, then this is something to put in the comment section. But it says, I choose to let go of fear. And the back says, fear keeps you stuck in one place. Take one fear that you have and notice the power it has over you. Then see it for what it is, just a thought. All right, my angels. So Spider says you got a lot of work in October. You guys are probably working on your finances, working on bringing your dreams and goals together, but releasing fear is going to be important because it might be getting in your way of progress. Progress and work. Let's see what else is coming up for you in the month of October. This will give you some specifics for Taurus. You have a quill, so that says get back to the basics. It's time to create a plan. All right, my angels. And then you have good fortune in the month of October. So that's really awesome with the beetle here. All right, what else do I got? All right, I got some cards for you. Let's see, for Taurus in October, you have here and now. So it's about focus on the present moment. That is where your inspiration will strike. When we're worried too much about the past and what happened there, or comparing ourselves there, or if we're focusing too much on the future, then these can become problems. Both the past and the future, and reflecting on both of those can be so great for us. But when we are only thinking about the past and only thinking about the future, we can feel very far away from our goals, and also just really down on what's happened to us. So Spirit's wanting you to focus on where you are currently, because that's going to be the thing that opens new doors, right? When we are distracted on past memories, it can drain us, number one, right? And when we're focusing too much on the future, it can make us anxious, right? And fearful of, everything that we need to do to get where we want to go. And sometimes when our goals feel so far away, we're like, am I even going to get there, right? So I feel like you're in a dwelling process, and Spirit's saying, be aware in this present moment, because you're going to probably come up with inspiration that you may never have had if you were distracted based on being up in your head about other things. So Spirit wants you to meditate a little bit, all right, during the month of October. Really good time to just slow yourself down. Where are you right now? What can you do today that's going to help you open a door at least, or get you one step further, okay? So let's not overwhelm ourselves. That's what Spirit wants to say for you. All right, and then you also have embracing, which is interesting. And you have this kind of heron-looking card. I don't know exactly what the bird is, but I know that they wait very, very still for an opportunity to strike. So stillness being kind of like that meditative process, and waiting for an opportunity to strike is being present, right? This is such an interesting imagery, because it kind of relates a bit to your here and now card. Embracing in this present moment is what is going to help you find opportunities. So you know when to strike, the perfect moment to strike. So patience is going to be important in October. I know you don't want me to say that, but patience is important. And waiting. But it's not a bad kind of waiting. Let's dive into your tarot. I want to find out some more. Let's get you one of these. All right, for Taurus, October, Priestess. And this is how you're being called to step up and lead. So trusting in your intuition, right? Priestess is kind of like the high priestess. So where is your inner guidance guiding you to go? Because your intuition already knows what you need to do. So it could be a good time to start trusting in that, so you can be in control, right? How are you being called to step up and lead in your life? So kind of like Priestess mixed with Emperor, about creating structure, being more in control of your story, right? So instead of feeling like, oh, I'm stuck, it's like, no, I'm embracing this moment, and I know that an opportunity is going to come in the right time. So it's kind of like taking control of the narrative a bit better. It could be important for you in the month of October. Let's dive into your tarot. Let's see what's going on. Overall energy, month of October for Taurus is a Hierophant. It's your energy. That's interesting. So you guys are showing up in a very beautiful energy of yourself. The Hierophant, of course, is about your commitments, can be about marriage, and your relationships being an important factor. But Hierophant is also about your structure and your beliefs. And also being a medium for the divine also, right? Maybe you guys are going to be a teacher or a mentor in some way, or that's where you want to go. Okay, let's dive in. Overall energy of October. The Three of Wands. I'm sensing, what do you call it? I don't know if any of you are deciding to go, what's the word for it, where I feel like you're restraining from something. And I don't know, what's the word for it, where you go, okay, how can I say it? I don't know the actual word for it, and it's escaping my mind, which is such an annoying thing because I don't want to really say the actual other way of saying it. But you're restraining yourself from certain things. And I think that you're doing this to cleanse your energy. It's almost, I'm seeing like this devotedness. So I don't know if you guys are deciding to, again, just refrain from, because that's what I'm seeing. You're waiting for something. It feels like you're devoting yourself a lot more to higher commitments, and you're knowing that something's coming back to pay off for that. Just remember, don't be so results oriented, because we do have that spider. Like, you're become process oriented as well. Make sure that you are loving the journey whilst you are waiting for results from spirit, because this is an energy of you. I just feel like maybe you guys are deciding not to eat meat, for example, or you're deciding that you want to cut out dairy. I don't know. Like, it feels like it's a very spiritual shift that you're doing this for. It's not just because of your health. It feels like you're doing it to become more pure. Maybe also because of your health, but I feel like mainly because it's Hierophant energy is like you're stepping into a more divine light. Three of Wands. Very random, but hey. I still can't find that word. It's bugging me. How are you showing up in the month of October? Is this another waiting card? Yes, it is. Seven of Pentacles. So you're doing the work, so you're not just stuck. Remember that. Seven of Pentacles is really about understanding that this month is not exactly about harvesting, but it is about planting seeds and nurturing things to life. So again, process oriented. Can I clarify that? Thank you. Three of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles equal what? 10 of Pentacles, abundance, prosperity, or windfall of finances and stability, loyal people, right? It's that long-term goal, that legacy. So that's really amazing. Seven of Pentacles is about your nurturing, you being patient for something whilst you're working on it, tending to that garden that you've got here. And Three of Pentacles is about a plan. A plan with nurturing is what equals happiness, emotional fulfillment, wish fulfillment, and abundance. So if you're seeing 333, this would be a sign that this reading means something in your life. This is not a time to harvest. This is a time to nurture something. If you guys are working on any projects, again, any plans, like this is a time to show up. It is a bit of a time for discipline and strategy and structure. What's a challenge that Taurus might come across in the month of October? Maybe none. Patience, I guess. Taurus month of October challenge. Four of Swords. Okay. Seven of Wands and a King of Pentacles. So this is your card anyways, Taurus. Let me just look at the cards here. So Four of Swords, of course, can be health and healing. Taking that time out could be a bit of a challenge for you. Seven of Wands feels a little bit like shutting out distractions is very hard for you. Yeah, I just get the sense that you're withdrawing a bit, which is not a bad thing. I like it a lot. I feel like you're protecting your energy to heal. Four of Swords. Seven of Wands. It feels like maybe you want to meditate a bit more, right? You want to spend more time praying. I don't know what exactly. It feels like it's connection to the divine, connection to yourself. But Seven of Wands is like, it's really hard for you to shut out the distractions. And maybe that's work, right? Maybe you want to deal with better work hours, right? And you're wanting to place boundaries there. So Seven of Wands and the King of Pentacles just feels a little bit like you can't catch a break. And that is what it might feel like. There's just a lot going on and it's really hard for you to maybe sleep, right? Your challenge could also be sleeping. Seven of Wands, people could be demanding your attention. Hey, Taurus, like, I feel like what's going on in the month of October is that you're having to fix things in your life where maybe you once had a lack of boundaries. So now people are expecting things from you, right? Whether it be finances, it just feels a little bit like you just want a break. You just want some time to yourself. But I feel like because of before, let's say you're in work, for example, you're used to just always being on the call. But now that you're deciding that you want to turn it off and you want to focus on your health and your healing, people might start to get a bit more demanding and pushy to you. Like, hey, like, I just really need this one thing. But you're really trying during the month of October to say, listen, no, I'm committing to this thing, spending more time to myself, or again, dealing with work hours. It just feels more like protecting your energy. And I do see people being pushy with you, and that's your challenge, is to stand strong in what you're saying for yourself. Of course, some things in life need a compromise, but the Seven of Wands, Four of Swords, King of Pentacles says that really standing in your power and committing to something fully is going to be your challenge and something to work on during this month. Making sure that you're resting, right? I'm going to clarify that for you. I'm just going to see what else comes out for you there. Because that's what it feels like. And the Nine of Pentacles, that you can actually see results in your life, right? This is about your independence, you know, your results for the hard work that you put out in life. Some of you could be, you know, starting to become self-employed. Maybe that's where you're deciding to shift your focus a little bit more. Or again, focusing more on savings or whatever. It just feels a little bit like when you start to protect your energy, you're going to see a lot of fruition in your life. Seven of Wands. Queen of Cups. Now, this could be a specific person. All right, you guys have a lot of empathy, and this feels like where it's a bit hard because people might know that you're very empathic and you just want to help people, and people could be using that against you. Eight of Swords. 10 of Swords, actually. Some of you might need to know and understand that nothing that's good for you will absolutely demand to take from you, even when you place a boundary. And I really want you to know that. There could be people who are deciding like, oh, well, I'm not going to be your friend then if that's how you're going to be. And you're like, well, then you were benefiting from taking from me. And if you want to not be my friend because of that, then it clearly shows that you were just taking advantage of me the whole time. And that's what I feel like you guys are starting to see people's true colors. And again, you're going to have to place some very strong boundaries in order to cut out an old way of being. Ten of Swords also comes up with that too. Let's see what your advice is for the month of October. The Four of Cups. Again, a bit about that stillness here. A moment to yourself is going to bring in a new idea, a new beginning. Four of Cups. Trying to connect to like a vision that I'm having, because Death God is here, which is Scorpio season as well, which is in October. But most importantly, it's a card of transformation and big changes, complete shifts. But the Four of Cups feels like an invite to transformation from spirit, most likely. Yeah, and the High Priestess is here, which is where are you feeling called to step up and lead? Four of Cups. Why is this the advice for Taurus? Justice, right? To create more balance in your life, to place more boundaries, right? This is Libra season, so I really like this energy where you're bringing more balance. You're closing out old cycles. I wonder if you've been feeling quite jaded or bored with your life, and this is where this is all coming from, of this big shift. Where it feels like in this moment of silence and quiet, there's a reason why you feel called to just kind of going a bit silent, turning your phone off. That there's a reason for it, because Spirit's trying to connect to you. Spirit's trying to get you, but guess what? They can't if your mind's busy and you're too busy to even, sit down with yourself. So I feel like if you're just called to just read a bit more in the evenings or switch off your device, I just feel like this energy of withdrawing is for a reason, because Spirit's trying to connect with you, and that's the only way that they can. And through this connection with you, they are going to again invite you for some transformation in your life, which is towards you again. Maybe getting a promotion or like a money increase for sure, but it's about this invite to change the way that you're giving to things, to create more balance. Some of you will definitely be like philanthropists, or you'll help people with your abundance that you'll gain and with the energy that you're finally going to be able to, store up a bit more of. Because a lot of you just want to help others, but the problem is you've been helping others so much that you've not been able to really build upon it on yourself, by yourself. So at this rate, this is really about protecting your energy, but also paying attention to what you give your time and energy to. I do see that the way you deal with your day-to-day, your habits, your routines is going to change in the month of October, especially at the end of it, that you'll see an increase in your finances and maybe even what you earn because of this rebalance that's coming through, which is so on brand for Libra season. Okay, so that's a little bit of a crazy reading for you guys. I hope that it's been helpful in whatever way it needed to be for you guys. I wish you well, I wish you love, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, Gemini, so your October predictions, we're going to dive straight into it for you. So your affirmation, and if you want to enter for the giveaway, then this is something to put in the comments, but for the majority of you, this is an affirmation for the month. And this says, I wake up today with joy in my heart and clarity in my mind. And it says, this is an amazing affirmation to help you start your day feeling energized. Make a conscious decision daily to have a great day. So October is all about being intentional for you guys, Gemini. I also pulled you out an animal spirit for you guys for the month, and you guys got the starfish. So this is a really good card for everything kind of working out in a good way. A starfish always reminds me of your dreams and goals coming to light, but this is a really important month for you guys to remember. It's not all about outward appearance and how you look to others or the superficial things in life. Make sure that we're also connecting to things like love, to ourselves, to connection with others and animals, the world around us. It's more about looking inwards as well, making sure that that is also reflecting who you want to be, not just externally too. All right, my angels, so let's dive in a bit more. Let's see what's going on for you for the month of October, my gorgeous Geminis. You have By the Book, really good time for studying. By the Book, this always has multiple meanings for me. Number one, you're being guided by spirit in the month of October. I always see the person I'm reading for as the baby elephant. So you're being guided by your ancestors, you're being guided by your spirit guides. Maybe this is also a really good time to find people who inspire you and be guided and led by them too. Because as you can see in this card, there's not a lot going on in where you are right now. So I always say that this baby elephant, so you might be feeling a bit rebellious at this time in the month of October, where you might just want to go and create things for yourself, and the mundane tasks or the way to get where you want to go seems too boring that you just want to recreate it. But Spirit's saying there's a reason why everyone's doing it the same way, because it's the fastest way. It may not seem like it, but it is. So I wonder if this is about, not falling for the get rich quick schemes or quick ways to fast track or cutting corners. Spirit's kind of saying to follow the status quo. Follow the right way of doing things, because it's going to be the fastest way that's actually going to take you there. So it could be about, again, hard work. Maybe, you're focused on superficial things. You just want to make money quick. It's just a really random example. It doesn't have to be for everyone. But Spirit's kind of saying, allow yourself to be led by others at this time and to do things the right way at this time anyway. There's a perfect time to recreate the wheel. But sometimes if the way works, there's no need to fix if it's not broken, basically. That's the vibe that is coming through for you guys in the month of October. If it's not broken, why fix it? All right, let's see. I think in a way it might be like it's a good time to kind of like, in October, I want you to make sure that you're using your energy for the right things. And you have flow. That's a beautiful card. So the month of October, Spirit's asking for flow. Now, this has a full moon on it, so it could say there's a lot of heightened emotions. And I wonder if Spirit wants you to kind of go with the flow. There's a gentleness here with this card. Tapping into your emotional world for sure. Flow. I guess in a way that also represents kind of being guided, right? If you go with the flow, you're kind of going with where spirit's pushing you to go. So that's interesting. Let's grab you some more. For Gemini, during the month of October, okay, you have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? And this kind of looks like the Page of Swords to me. Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? So are you guys getting too distracted with certain things that you're not tapping back into yourself, like the starfish was saying? Now, I just want to mention on the bottom of both of these decks, we have kind of this element of the Fool. We have Leap over here, which says you go first, the universe will catch you, and then you have New Beginnings. So I am picking up that maybe not in the month of October that you'll be taking big leaps of faith and new beginnings, but maybe in November you guys are going to change things up for yourself. But during the month of October, it does feel like deep reflection. It does feel like, again, the mundane things to see progress in your life. I'm going to figure it out. Let's get you some predictions of things that might happen during the month of October. Then we'll dive into the tarot. You have a marriage will take place. Some of you might meet someone new, all right, and get into a commitment with this person. Maybe you've met someone already who is your soulmate that you will marry later on, or maybe you guys are going to be proposed to during this time. But it says a marriage will take place either romantic or business. So it is a really good card for connection and commitments. You have 10 card, which says celebration, fun, and enjoyment happening in the month of October. So there could be a celebration going on. There is a younger man being significant during this month for you, Gemini. And then you have butterfly, and this says a change for the better is happening in the month of October. So that feels nice. Butterflies are all about transformation as well, to be honest. And when I see butterflies, I always see the ability to go to new places. So whereas a caterpillar could only go so far. So it does link to me that in October, you are going to start to find more possibilities out there for yourself. You're going to think a bit bigger. It can also mean that you're changing as a person too. All right. Anything else? I'm going to dive into tarot. What's the overall energy of October for Gemini? So we've got a lot of things going on here. You've got the 9 of Swords. And what they're showing me is a lot of stars. So that could mean that maybe you guys have a lot of goals, a lot of things that you want to achieve, and this could actually be what's keeping you up at night, right? Because the 9 of Swords is a card of sleepless nights, overthinking, anxiety, worry, stress, fears. It usually is, when we think of anxiety, it usually is the anticipation of things, right? You're worried about your future, basically. So the month of October is bringing some spooky things. I'm saying that I feel like Halloween is important for you, but the 9 of Swords, again, is worries, doubts, and fears. How are you showing up? The Moon, okay. Is this a difficult time of year for you guys usually? Because I am feeling a bit like, I feel like there's a cycle going on. All right, I'm going to clarify these. What is keeping you up at night? Why is the 9 of Swords here? The Strength card and the Devil. So I feel like there's a need to overcome a fear, because the Devil is fear. It's also a bit of ego. And the Strength card is saying, it's about your courage and your willpower and your strength. And the 9 of Swords, of course, is overthinking something. So the month of October is calling for you to reclaim your power and to conquer fears and even your own ego to have certain, outcomes that you desire. What are you worried about? Can I understand that? 3 of Swords, you're worried about heartache. You're worried about pain. You're worried about judgment. In what case scenario? Emperor, is this a father figure that's making you worried? Is this a masculine energy? Is this a fear that you don't have your life in order in October? What's the advice then for this 9 of Swords? The 9 of Wands. So some of you need to protect yourself. Sorry, I'm just going to tap into what the visions that I'm seeing here. Because what I'm feeling is in the 9 of Swords in this deck, there's a lot of these crows. And I guess the crows kind of represent whatever you feel is attacking you. Other people's opinions, right? It could be fears that are coming up. And what's interesting is the crows are still in this card, but the 9 of Wands being your advice is actually about protecting yourself from that. And these scarecrows are what chases the crows away. Some of you might need dream catchers, especially if you have nightmares. I don't know if you believe in that kind of stuff, but I feel like there's something that you can, something this month that you need to do. Now, if it's a person, the Nine of Wands, of course, being protecting yourself from someone. Meaning, I feel like some of you might need to put on, I don't know, what is this? Let me try tap into it for you. I might pause this so that I can actually tap into it. Let me do that for you guys. Okay. My angels, let me try to dive into the bottom of this, because I mean, for some of you, you might be dealing with someone who might be narcissistic. Like, this is just for a few of you. The Nine of Wands almost feels like having to put on a mask to deal with a specific person or to deal with a specific thing. And I don't know exactly what. So the Strength card is your advice. When you're dealing with fearful situations or anxieties or worries or this feeling of being out of control, the Nine of Wands is almost like a protective mechanism to deal with the situation. And sometimes we live with people who are tough to live with, right? So in a way, for some of you, if it's like a family member too, you might feel like you have to stick around someone. But the Nine of Wands says that there's a way to protect yourself in a situation. I'm gonna have to, like, that's getting a bit deep, and I feel like it's a bit hard to speak about that, but I hope that you guys catch the drift that I'm getting there. Nine of Wands, so either way, for the majority of you Gemini, you are being called to protect yourself. How can they protect themselves? Six of Cups in the World. So some of you need to find connections with people who actually bring you love and empathy, because I do feel like you've dealt with a lot of people who don't have that. Six of Cups is about your soulmate connections. Some of you do need to let go of the past and people of your past, just because you have an attachment to them, right? Maybe they're a long-term friend you've had for a long time, or maybe they're a family member, whatever it is. If it's sacrificing your peace, it's time to kind of rearrange how you're dealing with the situation and have the strength and courage to, as this card is saying, to take the bull by the horns here, which is about dealing with this difficult situation directly. So some of you, there is a bit of a conflict here, or a need to kind of, yeah, the Three of Swords being there is this is kind of been hurting you for too long. The Emperor. And this could be about making a decision, right? If it's not to do with people around you and it's just your fears, and the Strength card again still is about being courageous enough to conquer a fear, right? To get out your head and take action on something if it's worrying you. The Moon, as your energy, is the Five of Cups. You guys are definitely in your feelings in the month of October. Good news is we're doing this in advance, so we can really change this energy. Five of Cups is a card of disappointments, right? Reflecting and dwelling on things that have gone wrong. So there might be a feeling of being more pessimistic in the month of October. So this is a good time to go, okay, maybe this is a good time to start being more optimistic, or at least looking at the silver lining, and instead of worrying about things that you can't change, to start to focus again on things that you can. Can't change people around you, remember that, but you can create distance, even if it's emotional distance, which I do feel for some of you it is that with someone, it's emotional distance from this Emperor energy in Aries, or a masculine figure, someone who is very controlling. And the King of Wands, so you can get your flame back. What's going on within Gemini, please? Judgment. You're going through judgment. Definitely have been through a bit of like dark night of the soul, because the Hermit is here, which is introspection, time out, to really, really reflect on life, to understand your calling, right? And judgment being here is really that you're finding the truth in situations. So the month of October is all about clarity. It is all about judgment from the spirit, right? They're showing you where you need to work on and who needs to go and what you need to do. So it's good in a way of clarity. But the month of October is also about surrendering. This is what's going on within you. You're surrendering. You're letting things go. You're no longer fighting things anymore. It feels a bit like you're this release of attachment to things, or the dwelling of things, or emotions of things, or trying to change people, right? It just feels a little bit like there's been a lot of your time and energy trying to cut corners or do things in a way without dealing with it head on. Like, I don't know what this is about, but let's say, you wanted to distance yourself from a family member, whatever it is, like really trying to find a example here. but you know that you needed to cut them off, but you don't want to do that. So it's like, okay, well, let me just, do it a different way, or let me just try something different and see what happens. But it's almost like you're coming to the understanding in the month of October. The only way to really deal with something that you've been avoiding is actually by dealing with it directly. And that judgment is that judgment call going on within you, where Spirit's trying to move you towards the light, right? Towards more love, towards more happiness, towards clarity, towards truth. And that feels like that's what you've been kind of resisting, is truth. What exactly is this truth? The devil. It could also be ego, right? It could be things within yourself where you're trying to control things too, by the way. Like however it shows up for you, the Emperor here seems to be the issue. The devil is what's coming to light. Your fears, things that have been blocking you, things that have been holding you back. The devil can also be material world stuff too. So an attachment to the superficial, like the starfish was saying for you guys. And maybe that's been making you miserable, right? I don't earn enough money, or I don't earn this, or I don't look good. And it might be affecting you, what you've been attaching yourself to. Either way, or a person, whatever it is, it's the same message, just different how it shows up for you. But judgment is saying that Spirit's calling for you. And it's saying the only way to deal with this is to deal with it the way that you know you need to, but you've been avoiding. All right, well then, what's the advice for Gemini, please? The Magician. You have all the tea. You have all the tools that you need. And this Strength card also just jumped out the deck here too. You have the strength already. You have what it takes already to do what you need to do, to have the life that you want to live. The Magician says you have the tools within you already. The Magician is also the affirmation, I can. That's how I see it as well. So it really is about believing in yourself. And the Ace of Swords coming through as I'm saying that is about truth. Okay, that's Spirit just saying, yep. You have the tools already. And some of you need to face the truth, and you've been avoiding it, running away from it. This is the card I was speaking about, because you don't want to deal with the conflict. You don't want to deal with maybe the pain and disappointment of walking away from certain people or feeling defeated. I wonder what this is for you. Guys, let me know in the comment section. This feels very specific though. The truth is always going to be haunting you, because it's something that you know deep down you need to do. And like I said, there's no other way around it. What on earth is going on? You will have success. You will have victory. You will be celebrating this. Don't you worry. But for now, it feels like you're going to have to kind of do something that's difficult for you in order to get that. All right, my angels, I love you guys. Wish you all the best. See you guys in the next one. Okay, Cancer sign. So your affirmation that came through, and if you want to enter the giveaway, something to type out in the comments is, I deserve all the good that comes my way. What an amazing affirmation for the month of October. And it says, for more empowerment, add this affirmation. I now release all negative beliefs about myself. All right, my angels, so that is something to think about and affirm with yourself throughout the month of October. And you also have the Panther spirit. And the music that came to my head was Raw by Katy Perry being significant for this month, which tells me that this might be a very empowering month for you. So I'm actually just going to find the Panther here for you. Oh, this is kind of like the death card, I believe. So the Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnant. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. So that kind of gives me Scorpio energy, so that energy might really kick in at the end of October. So it reminds me of the Tower and the Death card, which is kind of saying that anything that is standing in your way of growth and a fulfilling life is really going to start to go a bit crazy, right? So that could be a partnership, that could be a friendship, that could be a work situation that you've been stuck in and have been telling yourself you're going to leave, but now it's starting to get more uncomfortable to be in, for example. That's how it shows up. It brings discomfort, so you actually move in an opposite direction in the way that Spirit wants you to go. So interesting. And if I think about the lyrics of Katy Perry as well, it feels like maybe you guys are starting to stand up for yourself, right? Hearing you roar is really about you finally like speaking your mind. Maybe you are the Panther, right? Maybe you are just deciding to just have a little bit of a standing up for yourself in situations that have just been taken from you for a long time. And as I say that, the rest of the cards fell on the floor, but the one that stood out is boundaries. Look at that. No more taking from you. Look, all these hands that are trying to demand things from you, Cancer. You are actually roaring during the month of October. This says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? All right, my angels. Let's see what else is coming out for you. I've got lots of cards for you for the month of October, for our Cancer signs. Please, Spirit, you have blessings. I'm seeing shopping bags. So I don't know if you guys are going to be gifted something. Like, I feel like maybe a neighbor might help you out with groceries, or people are helping you out with things. I'm seeing bags and gifts. And then blessings coming through is interesting. You know, you might just find money on the floor in the month of October, you know, which is interesting because you do have a really amazing affirmation saying, I deserve all the good that comes my way. Pisces energy coming up on that card too. Interesting. Blessings. So expect blessings in the month of October. This yellow bird can also be significant for some of you out there. All right, Cancer signs, month of October. Going on. Higher power. Okay, I feel called to get one more for you for Cancer signs. The higher power says that you are going to start to see the divine at work in your life, right? You're connecting to a higher power. And in this card, she has like a keyhole here, which is kind of saying that you're unlocking your third eye. You're unlocking your ability to see beyond just this material world. You're starting to see more in a spiritual world. You're seeing the universe at work. Now, orphaned card actually came up reverse, which is interesting. This tells me that you're turning things around in your life. Maybe before you felt quite low, depressed. Maybe you felt a bit abandoned by life, low self-esteem, you know, that kind of stuff. And now you're starting to feel a bit more protected, right? The fact that you're turning that around is you're starting to see that the universe is there for you and has always been there for you. And maybe it's coming from chaos. I do feel like in the month of October, you guys will see some karma happen to people who have wronged you. I don't know why I get that sense. It almost feels like you felt a bit like alone and that spirit kind of let things happen to you in your life, or it feels a bit like you felt like you had bad luck. And that's shifting. I feel like I've seen the Wheel of Fortune. And what I'm seeing is that you're going to start to see the universe actually like bringing justice into your life. And that's what I feel. Yes. Okay, I like that. All right, what else am I supposed to get for you? I think I got them all. All right, I'm going to get you some specific tea leaf messages. Let's see what's going on in the month of October for Cancer signs. One more. Thank you. So you have goldfish, and it says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Love that. You have bird flying, and it says news is on its way, which we did see the bird with the blessings card, so that is amazing. Diamond says you'll be receiving or giving a gift, a precious gift. You also have and work, achievement, and success. So lots going on in the month of October. And we got one more, which says a vacation. Maybe you guys will be going on a trip or a vacation or a special weekend somewhere. All right, well, anyway, let's dive into your tarot. Where is my deck? It's here. Let's see what the overall energy is of October for you. For Cancer signs, please. Is that the Emperor? No, it's not. It's the Four of Pentacles. So this is about you maintaining boundaries, right? This is understanding that maybe you've been giving too much to others. This, I don't know why it's showing me the Ace of Cups, which is kind of like filling up your own cup first and giving from the excess. This can also be in terms of finances as well. I do see that you guys will be saving in the month of October, but it definitely is a time of you withdrawing what you're giving too much to and starting to build upon yourself, right? It's almost about building the right foundation in the month of October, which feels nice. How are you showing up? The Two of Cups. Are you in love? You're showing up as someone who's having a lot of important conversations. The Two of Cups, of course, is about love. So let's see how that relates. We're going to clarify that for you. Why is the Two of Cups in the energy of Cancer sign? In Cancer sign's energy, Two of Cups for October. Wheel of Fortune. I did say I saw that coming up here, which is interesting. So you are starting to see some justice and luck in your connections with people. The Empress reverse. So maybe this is what's changing. You're starting to hold yourself to a higher value. You're starting to see your worth more, right? I feel like the Empress is you're starting to be in a position of knowing your worth, knowing your value. And that's what's shifting your dynamics with people. And that's probably where you're starting to place boundaries. So it's interesting. The Page of Wands. So I do see new friendships coming into your life now as well. So I feel like that could be a friend that you meet at work. Page of Wands. Ace of Cups. Yeah, there we go. The Ace of Cups I was speaking about, of you like filling up from your own cup first. Oh my God. Hello, camera. Ace of Cups. So why is Cancer's energy the Two of Cups then? The Devil. So this is an energy of like shifting your dynamics. Maybe you attracted the wrong kinds of people, or people, or maybe there's been some toxic, habits in a current connection. The Devil is what's kind of starting to leave now. All right, that's what's shifting, is that no more stagnancy in relationships, no more toxic people, or people only wanting like certain things from you, for example. It feels like you're now opening up a new beginning of love, like true love. So a connection could be shifting the moment that you start to stand up for yourself more. Okay. All right. Now my whole deck is just mixed around. So let's see. What's the challenge that might arise during the month of October? Ace of Swords now reversed. Interesting. Which is about a lack of honesty, a lack of clarity, and Three of Cups. And that's to do with friendships, by the way, because Three of Cups is about that. Can I understand why the Ace of Swords is reversed? And you have the Queen of Swords, which is about boundaries. So yeah, a lot of you guys are just deciding that you're going to withdraw from certain people, especially if you feel like they're not being very honest with you or have second intentions. Let's clarify Three of Cups. Yeah, Four of Swords. This is you taking a break and resting and going into hibernation. High Priestess as well is another card about going silent. And then we have Justice and the Ten of Swords. Oops. Which of course is about creating balance and creating an ending and cutting out soul contracts. So this is a really big month for your dynamics. So don't be surprised if people just kind of come out the woodworks a little bit here, or that people are testing your boundaries. It's so that you understand who's supposed to be in your life and who's not supposed to be in your life. Because you're going within, like you're going in hibernation mode. I feel like you're healing yourself by the love that you give yourself in the month of October. And it feels like maybe other people are not going to like it. And if that's the case, then they're not really the right people for you. But Queen of Swords in your energy says that you're protecting yourself a lot more. And maybe you're just being a bit more like unapologetic about how you do it, right? Queen of Swords can sometimes be very direct, very straight to the point, very cutthroat. And I feel like, again, that's where you are turning the Empress back around again. Some people benefited off of you not having a high self-esteem or self-worth, or you not putting yourself first, or you not knowing your worth. People benefited from that. They had access to you. So this is what's changing. Interesting. Well, let's see your advice then. What's the advice for Cancer signs? Ace of Wands. This is a brand new start. That's what I'm hearing. October marks a really important fiery time. And for some reason, I just pick up like Phoenix rising for you in October, where it's like, no more. Like you're changing, you're becoming more powerful. And that was kind of the themes in the beginning as well, where you're starting to speak up for yourself. You're starting to show who you are, right? And say who you are, and not be afraid of who that intimidates, right? I have to look up the lyrics of that song for you. Which maybe I'll do that now. Hold on one second. Well, turns out I have no Wi-Fi. But if I remember the song, it's about, I used to hold my tongue. Is that what it is? I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, which is meaning, like not saying your truth, or, withholding. Scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So again, wanting to keep the peace and dynamics and not wanting confrontation. And about sitting quietly and being polite, So especially with that Empress energy being reversed, it almost feels like maybe you've been too passive, overly, because the Empress feminine, divine, it is screaming divine feminine. You don't have to be a female to relate to that, but it's almost like your Empress energy, your divine feminine was out of balance. And I don't think that was in a way that you were not loving. I think that you were overly loving without that powerful boundary of knowing your worth and knowing when to say no. I'm almost seeing like a passive energy of like, okay, like no worries, like it's okay, you know, like if someone's shouting at you and you kind of mother them or baby them, instead of actually saying, no, you can't speak to me like that, you know, it's almost like something's changing and you're becoming more powerful. Not just, you always have been loving, you're a Cancer sign, my goodness, but it's just like that. I'm seeing an energy of you just being more, I don't know, like a lioness or a panther, I guess, because that's what came up for you. So anyway, look into that song. I feel like that might be very significant for whoever I'm speaking to today. This fiery energy is going to be very good for you. And of course, it brings in inspiration, new ideas, action, and activity. So it might make you more active in your life. Maybe you want to start a business after this. I don't know. You just seem to become more powerful and in a creative mode. So I do like it for you. My goodness. And remember your affirmation. I deserve the good things that come my way. So whatever chaos is unfolding, it actually is unfolding in your favor. So I don't feel sad for you. I feel bad for those around you. but clearly, you know, it's not bad what you're doing. So I was just saying that as a joke. Because yeah, you're not to be messed with this month of October. You're just this beautiful light energy. And I see it not just in a way of anger. It's not that. It's of love for self. And that's how I'm seeing it, as you kind of like rising up with this ball of light, is how I'm seeing it. It's giving me, I don't know if you can see the goosebumps on my arm right now, but ooh, it's giving me chills because it's coming from true light. Oh my God, I'm getting it all over my back. So I'm gonna go, Cancer, because you guys are freaking me out. Making me cold up in here. But it feels so powerful. It's an empowering month for you guys. And yeah, it may come in with chaos and havoc, like the Panther said, but I think it's about time. Yeah, I feel like it's about time that something changed and that you stood in your full power. So my goodness, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you give the reading a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and enjoyed videos like this. And make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. But aside from that, I'll see you guys next time. Hello, Leo. So your affirmation for the month of October is this, and it says, I am evolving every day and I'm patient with my growth. So if you did want to enter the giveaway, then put that in the comment section below. But this is just something to say for yourself through the month of October. So writing it somewhere, putting on a mirror or something might help you. Keep this with you. All right. And this says each day brings new experiences. With each new experience, you grow inevitably. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but as babies learn to walk, you also have to do it gradually. Be kind to yourself during this process. And that always reminds me of times in life where you feel like your goal feels so far away that you're like, this is almost like impossible. You're not envisioning it for yourself, but I really want you to start to visualize it and practice whatever you guys are doing. Maybe you're learning a new skill, because when this comes through, or maybe starting new routines or trying to be more disciplined, or just the best version of yourself, Leo. I don't know what it is yet. We'll dive into the tarot, but it always reminds me of when I began driving, learning to drive. And I remember feeling like there's no way that this is just going to come naturally to me, because it's just too much to think about and too much to learn. And even learning a language too, it's like, I don't ever see myself being fluent in this, but then it just happens because you're dedicating time to it. So whatever you guys are starting to do, then this affirmation just feels really, really nice for you, that one day it's going to be your complete reality. So embrace each step. Now, the next thing that you have is the beaver, and I'm just going to read this out the book for you. Ironically, the actual keywords for this is hard worker, loyal, tireless, and also family first. Let's see how this shows up for you. So this says the beaver personality, which is how you guys are showing up during the month of October, is a welcomed sight. These good natures and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home, financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. Ironic, because we're just speaking about it, that every day you're evolving. Be patient with your growth. So interesting. It says it can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, which is selfless service. So giving to others could be a big love language for you guys during this month. All right, my angels. So let's dive into your messages. There was something I was picking up on just as I was beginning your reading, which was some of you could be getting like new glasses during this, or, you know, actually getting glasses for the first time in the month of October. Could be a good time to check out your eyesight. But I also felt this energy of being a bit geeky, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a cute way, that maybe you guys are studying something, learning something new. Like I just get this little scientist vibe from you, like experimenting and, you know, wanting to learn more about something. Anyway, let's get you some key events that might happen, or specific things that might happen in October. Can I get one more? No. Okay. Thank you. Knowing when is enough, right? You have Caterpillar, and this says things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Then you have Boat, which I'm pretty sure says money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. So I love that for you. You have Chair-filled. Someone new is entering your life in the month of October. And time to go and have fun. So you have really amazing cards coming up for you. A lot of this also speaks again about things coming into your life. So that feels awesome. New people, right? Great people. Abundance, right? Maybe you guys are going to see a bonus, a pay rise, or again, a stream of income coming your way, which feels amazing. And you're celebrating something. And Spirit is just reminding you that in October, things are starting to shift and change. All right, my angels, let's dive in a bit more. Let's see how October is going to be for you. Oh, that wanted to come out straight away, here and now. So although there are big things coming your way, Spirit is just reminding you in the month of October to be present. Okay, remember, you're working towards a long-term success. So don't give up on those goals, but also remember that today is a new day. Remember, I'm evolving every day. Maybe you're looking at your future, where you need to be, and you feel so distant from it, like we were saying before. But showing up every day, being in the present moment is actually what matters the most. All right, what else do we got? We got more for you. October for Leos. Power. So you guys are, I feel like, growing in your power during the month of October. And what does that mean? Power, power, power. Now, lightning kind of reminds me of the Tower card, right? Which is divine intervention. I feel like what I'm hearing is that you're putting your energy into the universe and it's coming back. I'm almost feeling like you're being a channel for change. So what I'm seeing is you focusing on your inner power. I'm seeing that the sparks coming around you, and that is actually affecting something else in your life. So I wonder if the work that you're doing within yourself and feeling more powerful within yourself is going to start to change things in your external. That's interesting. Then you have trust your path in the month of October. This says, if you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? All right, so that's Spirit's way of wanting you to step into your power. All right, what else? I think that's it. We're going to dive into your tarot then. Let's see what they have to say for you. What is going on for my gorgeous Leos in the month of October? Overall energy of October. You. Queen of Swords. So Cancer sign had a similar vibe of placing boundaries, standing in your truth, right? Not being afraid to rock the boat, not being afraid to stand alone, if that's what it means as well. Like I just get this energy of not being afraid. Queen of Swords. What's the overall energy of October? The Tower. So some of you guys are freaking rocking the boat. I feel like you guys are cutting some people out. That's what that feels like. The Tower card is about destruction. It's about separation, breakups at times. But it's most importantly, especially with the Queen of Swords, about things that need to be done. Like I said, you standing in your truth is actually creating that lightning strike somewhere else. What is this Tower about? Strength, which is your power. So it could be, I mean, this is your energy too, Leo. So I feel like you're changing. The Tower is also affecting you. The Strength card is your card. It's you showing up as your, most highest self, right? It's your complete energy. So you guys could be going through a transformation. What is transforming in Leo's life in October? The Walled. What's transforming in Leo's life? God, so many cards coming out. Hold on. Two of Swords. So what's happening? Yeah, so and then you have the Ace of Cups. So because the Walled and the Two of Swords are kind of reversed, I feel like this is a decision that maybe you've been delaying, right? A new beginning that you've been delaying that's kind of just coming in now. And the Ace of Cups being here is a new emotional beginning. And it can be in terms of love, right? New love, but it does feel like it's about you protecting your own energy and loving yourself. So there could be something in Cancer signs reading for you, by the way. So I'd go check that out, especially if you have it strong in your chart, because it was that kind of same powerful energy of starting to put yourself first. And there's so much power in that. All right, let's see. How is Leo showing up in the month of October? You're showing up as the Six of Pentacles, which is again about rearranging what you're giving your time and energy to so that you can have balance in your life, right? Focusing on your daily routines and your habits and your health, your work, how you're showing up there. So yeah, definitely placing boundaries with yourself and others so that you can actually start going on a new beginning. Okay, what exactly is that Tower though? What's shaking up within Leo? Six of Wands. So some of you are actually going to really get a lot of success. Like I am feeling immediate success. This is someone up on a high horse coming out of a war successfully. So it's almost like whatever changes you're going through right now are actually catapulting you towards maybe more attention, right? Maybe this is about being in a public eye in some way, or maybe it is about, you know, just being seen for your work. I feel like you're undergoing a major transformation that is going to, again, bring you success. You know, like a rebrand kind of thing is what I'm kind of seeing. And you're not afraid to stand in your power anymore. Queen of Swords. Three of Swords. I feel like you've had enough, right? When the Three of Swords comes in with the Queen of Swords, you've been through a lot of heartache and pain in your life. And I think you've had enough. And maybe you did, you know, protect or prioritize others. I'm just going to spin these cards out as I'm speaking to you, because my whole deck is kind of like messed up here. Let's actually change the deck. For Leo, let's dive a bit deeper because I want to dive into like some specifics. Why is the Queen of Swords the overall energy? Six of Wands again. So all of this is happening for you to actually have success. Hello? Okay, now it's not going to focus on it. Okay, there we go. You being celebrated. I want to know exactly what this is about. Is this placing boundaries? The Queen of Swords again. So absolutely it's about you placing boundaries and you standing true in your truth, even when it's tough to do so. Even if it means being very direct or very, you know, maybe confrontational in a way. So what's the Tower card? The Eight of Pentacles. I feel like, so October is giving you a chance to rebuild things. Eight of Pentacles, especially in your work, okay? Maybe this is about going back to the drawing board and maybe, you know, redoing, I feel like a rebrand, but that could be your identity as well. But it feels like, okay, you're doing a lot of hard work and a Tower card to rebuild some things that just not been working in your life. Again, habits, routines. You're doing a lot of work though during the month of October. So it is, it's not a month where it's just going to happen. It just feels like you're changing things. You're finding your truth. You're finding clarity. You're setting boundaries, being more disciplined with yourself and with others. And that's creating, again, this powerful shift in what's going on around you. And for a lot of you, it is going to transform your money, how you make money, your career. But also, like, I feel like it's making you more passionate too. All right. That Three of Swords, why is it there? Ace of Swords. Sometimes the truth can be a bit painful, and I wonder why that is. Ace of Swords, truth, clarity. What is the pain? Two of Cups. It's to do with someone else. Why the truth brings pain. Three of Swords, Ace of Swords. Maybe someone's truth was very painful. Yes, Six of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, which is about learning from your past. I'll show you. Learning from your past is something to learn about an old relationship. Maybe it's a friendship. I don't know exactly who it is, but it is someone who you care, or at least cared deeply for. I mean, of course, if you're brokenhearted, you must have cared at one point. So who's this Two of Cups? The Star. So it could have been an Aquarius. Did they ghost you? What created the Three of Swords then? Three of Cups, maybe a third party situation. Someone else was involved. Yeah, I feel like with whoever this was, that you felt like you had to like fight for their attention. I feel like this person had a big ego, and you always kind of felt like the outcast. Maybe it's friendships, I don't know what it is, but it feels like, yeah, that's where the pain comes from. It's the month of October. What's happening for Leo? Three of Swords. So maybe it's not happened yet, but it is happening now. Three of Swords and a Justice card, being Libra season and in October is important because you're now, you know, rebalancing the scales and getting your karma, good karma for the people that you have in your life, right? It does feel like it's changing up your dynamics. Like I said, the change that's going on within you, the truth that you're emitting within yourself of how to move forward and how to protect yourself, place boundaries, or knowing your worth and value, that's ultimately changing what's going on around you. And if people fall away from you, then let it be for a reason. Anything else for Leos? Okay, Page of Pentacles. I do see a money increase for sure. If you are entrepreneurial, I see a massive success coming your way in terms of the month of October, being seen, being in the spotlight, but then ultimately finding a lot of results. Queen of Wands is you. Nine of Pentacles is you seeing a lot of fulfillment within your own energy, the work that you are doing, maybe in your private time, right? Maybe at home, what you're doing at home, or what you're doing behind the scenes, or just finding peace within your own energy and finding happiness and success here for sure. And again, we did have this money, property, or windfall. The Wheel of Fortune coming through is about that, right? It is about blessings. It is about luck. It is about things turning in your favor. So I do see a money increase for you because of this confidence that you guys are starting to exude during this month, because you're standing in your truth. You're not being afraid of what you have to kind of let fall apart. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is slow and steady movement, like the beaver was saying, right? Long-term success. Long-term success. Planting the seeds for your long-term success. So a kind of like a crazy month. A lot's going on, but ultimately it is all for your good, right? It's all for you to stand in your power. Remember, don't be afraid to make decisions, because this card is saying if you knew you'd be supported, which basically is telling you that everything that you're deciding that you want to do is coming straight from your intuition, what would you do? Again, it is you stepping in your power. Look at that energy. You are becoming a bit of a storm during this week, which, you know, other people might be a bit scared of, but if that's because they've been wronging you, then let them be scared. You are a good person at heart, right? You are a good person with a beaver. I feel like maybe some people have not been deserving of that, or maybe things have just been getting in the way. And this is a really powerful month for you guys to actually really shift the narrative and really start working on actual long-term success and really building a happy home and happy family. And by the way, family is not just blood family, it's also the family that you choose, your friends, your community. So all of that seems to be changing. And again, ultimately it did seem a bit chaotic, but remember, you have really amazing specific cards coming out for you. So remember the caterpillar, things will not always be this way. How you enter October is not how you're going to leave October, which feels amazing, and that you're going to meet new people, have more fun, see more results, and see more money coming your way. Anyway, my angels, I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for being here with me. Excuse the very messy reading, but I hope that it made some sense to someone out there. And if it did, let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you guys next time. Hello, gorgeous Virgos. So this is going to be the month of October for you. I have an affirmation for you. So if you wanted to enter the giveaway, then this is what you're going to put in the comments. But for the majority of you, all of you watching, this is something to remind yourself of and affirm during the month of October. And it says, creative ideas, creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. And on the bottom of this card, it says, we've all been given the gift of creativity and imagination. Focus on accepting that you are a limitless spiritual being and your imagination will flourish. Love this energy, especially because your spirit animal for the month of October is the horse. Now, horses are known for freedom. Whenever I think of a horse, I see it galloping in the fields. So I'm going to read this out for you. So this says, the horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within a deck, and you are an earth earth sign, so that's great. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive that you can ride on its back towards any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. So you see how both of these cards seem to be about your creativity and going places. So it could be really good month for your career. Or my angels are just really seeing results. And of course, momentum, right? Things are speeding up for you here. This says a horse personality, which is how you guys are showing up in this month, is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina like exercise and mental focus like meditation are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. Ooh, love it. And it feels powerful. I don't know why I'm seeing it running in a storm. It feels very powerful. And that might be the terrain. Maybe you guys are going through like an emotional period or a period of big change. What would a storm mean? Like a shake-up? And this is an energy where you guys are running through it. And also what I was seeing actually before I started your reading was pockets of opportunity. And that's really how they wanted me to describe it. I don't know really how I can show you the visual of what I was seeing, but it's like things are really traveling very quick and it might be very hard for you to jump on opportunities. I don't know if it's trends. I don't know if it's like whatever is coming up. It feels like as soon as it comes up, it's gone again. I see that Spirit wants you to go, it's okay. There's always another opportunity coming next. And if it passes you by, it wasn't meant for you. So don't beat yourself up about what you might miss out on during the month of October, okay? They really want you to know that you're aligned. So with this amazing few cards, let's see what else is coming out for you guys. That horse's energy feels so powerful though. Let's see. For the sign of Virgo for October, you have adventures. All right, guys, so you guys could be going on some sort of adventure or a new experience in this month or just a new journey in general in the month of October. All right, let's see what else. That, of course, could be like travel and stuff like that. You have awakening. You guys are awakening in the month of October. This says energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So that feels like you guys are aligning to a new life, a new you. What else is coming out for you? Let's get you one of these. One of my favorite oracles, Wisdom of the Oracle deck. For Virgos for the month of October, please. This one has been coming out for a lot of you, and that is here and now, which of course is saying in this present moment is really where the opportunities and the doors open up for you. When we think about our past, they can bring great lessons. And when we think about our future, it can really give us insight in where we're going, right? It's so important to have a direction. So both of these are so important, but when they become a little bit too much, we start dwelling on the past, right? And start comparing ourselves to old versions of ourselves or old belief systems or, repeating old memories or attachments that stop us from moving forward. And the future can be scary sometimes too. So when they're negatively aspected, it can also bring in things like anxiety or depression, or again, it's feeling stuck. However, Spirit is really reminding you that here and now is where the opportunities are. So don't be afraid to sit with yourself in this present moment, because that could be where the ideas come from. Remember, that is what the creative ideas card was speaking about. When you focus on accepting that you're a limitless spiritual being, your imagination will flourish. So maybe you feel stuck in the month of October. You feel like you don't have a great idea, or something's not gonna, I feel like a little bit like you feel stuck or stagnant, but Spirit's saying, perfect, sit where you are, because that's where the idea is coming from. You think you're stuck, but really this is the actual opportunity. That's really interesting. Okay, let's dive into your tea leaf. We're gonna get you some very specific events that might unfold for you. All right. Being stuck is the opportunity. Being where you are is opportunity. Let's see. What's going on for Virgos in the month of October? Okay, a lot. All right, you have flag. This says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Diamond, you will be receiving or giving a precious gift in the month of October. You do have a wedge, which says someone could be coming between you and a friend or something that you want. You got advice from a friend coming up in the month of October, and you have some peace and harmony coming up. So lots of random stuff going on here. Let's dive into your tarot. Let's see what's going on. What is the overall energy of October for Virgo? Three of Cups, you're going to be celebrating. This is a really good card of being present. I always say this is a card of gratitude, focusing on the small wins, connecting with people around you. But of course, it is a card of success and celebration as well. Let's see a bit more. And friendship too. Maybe you guys are connecting with people. Okay, what are they celebrating in the month of October? Three of Cups. What's Virgo celebrating? Ten of Swords reverse. Ooh, interesting. Because this deck has random reversals for some reason now. So Ten of Swords reverse tells me that something you thought was coming to a complete end kind of gets revived. Maybe it also means that an old chapter of your life you're able to finally rise up from. You know, it's that kind of energy of resurrection that's coming through in the month of October for you guys, which I think is very beautiful and amazing. So you'll be celebrating a new renewal. Let's clarify what exactly is coming back to life or resurrecting. The Devil energy. Ooh. Maybe this is something you've closed out and able to move away from. And that could be an obsession, an addiction, codependency. It could be old habits and bad habits you're finally able to kind of cut out. So what's resurrecting is maybe not the devil energy. It could very well be that that's what's coming to an end and you're resurrecting from it, right? Tower card. Something fell apart. Something got you worried. Could have been dealing with an air sign because the King of Swords is here reversed. Something's been plaguing your mind, keeping you up at night, or you're at least thinking a lot about it. Fears. You're able to let go of your fears. Why is the Devil here? The Knight of Wands, which is interesting because the Devil represents attachments, right? These are people that are usually chained, not in this deck, but they are. So it represents feeling stuck. The Knight of Wands is the card of freedom. So you see here how what you're letting go of is a lot of attachments. What you're letting go of is a lot of things that had you shackled up. And now they're showing me that horse again, tied up to something. Now you're able to break free. They show me a bit of a movie in my head. So the storm came, the lightning struck, the rope that was tying you up to this very small fence. Very small. What I'm kind of seeing is that it was in a very destructive moment that actually set you free because a storm was brewing. And I don't know who that is or what that is, but that's what they're showing me. And you was able to escape that and run away from that and gain your freedom. And that's your gift in a situation. That's something to celebrate here. I'm going to clarify. What is that about? And that's what that horse energy is now representing. And the Knight of Wands is now on a horse. And you're riding on its back, like it was saying about how you're now gaining momentum. Knight of Wands is amazing for having a very optimistic outlook. So yeah, what you're letting go of is an old self. That was an old self that was bounded by that devil energy, attachments, obsessions, addictions, people pleasing, you know, fears, whatever it is. It's something that needed to be cut off. Let's clarify. Three of Cups. Why is this the overall energy of October? Queen of Pentacles. I do see that you'll be celebrating a financial windfall, feeling stable. By the end of October, you are going to be celebrating your finances and also the position that you are in. Feeling very lucky, feeling very fortunate. The Ten of Swords reversed. The Two of Wands reversed too. So Two of Wands is usually a card about building a future. And it could be with somebody, or it's like a plan or an idea, a direction that you were supposed to go and came to an end. It was not the right direction for you. And the Devil, King of Pentacles. So that's interesting. Could be a Capricorn. Could be a partner, business partner, or a romantic partner. The Knight of Wands, Moon. Which the moon is actually on the horse's head in that deck. So the moon can be feelings, deep feelings and emotions. So I feel like you guys still carry some feelings with this, and I'm scratching my back all of a sudden, which is reminding me that maybe you're still holding on to something, right? Something's weighing on your back, right? Kind of thing. You're carrying it. The emotions of that devil energy. The devil is the King of Pentacles. Could have been something that affected you financially or your stability. Who is the King of Pentacles? Nine of Cups reverse, which is a lack of wish fulfillment, lack of happiness. Could be like a job, right? It feels like you escaped something. Maybe you got fired, right? Or something happened. that was able to free you from this person or this situation. And now that you're free, but you do still have emotional attachments to it. Ten of Swords. You grieve it, what could have been, who you once were before this happened. Sometimes, in Judgment being here as well, is definitely that feeling of resurrection. Look at this, the comparison of these cards. Rising up from the ashes kind of vibe. So what am I trying to say? The month of October is transformational for you in a way where you're fully releasing the past. It's Libra energy, Scorpio energy, so it is a really big month for diving deeper into the layers, maybe what you've not realized you're still holding on to, or the feelings that are there in that Scorpio energy, to bring balance with that Libra energy as well. So let's dive a bit deeper. Let's see what exactly the moon card is about letting go of. The Hierophant, things that you were once committed to. Or maybe a relationship, right? Your belief systems as well could definitely be changing. Okay, how do I draw this all in? Did we get one of these other cards? Yeah, we got adventures. So Knight of Wands, I do see that you'll be traveling, or I do see that there is going to be an adventure, or you're being called to go on adventures during this month, because I think it's going to help you reflect with that moon, because I feel like there's something on your back emotionally that's still affecting you. Like that devil's still taunting you, even though you actually are detached from it. Okay. And that could be what the wedge is, right? Something's kind of coming between you and something that you want. Right, let's dive in. Let's see how you are showing up in the month of October. The Knight of Swords. Okay, so you're feeling you just want to go out there, rush ahead with things, maybe feeling a bit confrontational. You're ready to make things happen in your life. I actually love that horse running ahead, because it does remind me of the storm. Something very determined about you in this month, which feels beautiful and amazing, by the way. I do love this energy. Six of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Four of Cups, says that you're tired of how things have been. You're ready to make a change. You're ready to manifest your highest timeline, your biggest life. And the Six of Pentacles, I feel like a lot of you want to give to others, and Virgos are all about acts of service being your love language. You guys love to bring value to people. You love to help people. You love to be there for others. And that's a big part of most of your life purposes, even if it's family, right? You just want to give back to the world through what the world gives you. And the Four of Cups tells me that you're getting ready to make it happen in the month of October. I think that there is this energy of being sick and tired of something, right? Of things not moving, or of it not being the right time. And the Four of Cups, look, it's raining here, but I see you going out there anyway. So what that tells me is that October is not the most ideal months to make things push forward, but I do get the sense from you that you're I'm tired of waiting. I need to do this now. And I do feel like this is Spirit's way of pushing you forward at the right time, because it does feel very freeing. I don't know why I'm seeing the horse running in the storm. So I'm seeing that you've been waiting, but something gets too much, and you start to make it happen, but what am I rambling on about? I have no idea. But the Six of Pentacles, you start to make changes. You're starting to bring things into balance. You might just start changing your routine all of a sudden, or changing the way that you deal with your health or your career, right? Six of Pentacles, it feels like suddenly it's not the right environment, but you just go out anyway. Like, screw this, like I don't care about getting wet anymore or being out in a storm. Trying to find the right words for this. Maybe stability was that devil for you, right? Needing things to be perfect, needing things to be completely stable. Interesting. Advice for Virgo? The Queen of Swords, which has been everyone's advice, which is, of course, placing boundaries, standing in your truth. I do get this vibe of October being a stormy month for you. And again, it could just be that the environment's not ideal, or that there's a lot of change coming up here. What does the storm represent, please? Emperor. So you gaining your control. I'm just seeing it like a movie, and I'm really struggling to put it into words, but you're standing in your power is basically what that's saying. Six of Swords, moving towards calmer waters here. Some of you guys could be moving in the month of October, but it feels mainly that you're getting ready to go. You're getting ready to shift your life, basically, to be more in control, to own something. So maybe this is a business or a house, I don't know, or to own your life in a way, you know? Okay. Instead of it kind of owning you, you start to change you're changing the dynamics of how things have been. Instead of waiting for the right opportunity, you're creating the right opportunity. Does that make sense to you? There's a lot of creativity coming from this. The Magician and the Six of Pentacles is amazing. You're doing something with what you've got now, and that's going to multiply. Okay, anything else that Virgo needs to be aware of in the month of October? Three of Wands, make a wish, right? Three of Wands, of course, is a bit about patience, but I feel like with this card, it is about kind of getting clear on what you want, what you're working towards. Ten of Wands, letting go of what's on your shoulders here. You're coming to the end of a very difficult journey where you don't need to carry it anymore. And then that Tower is coming through, which is separation, fallout. What is a Tower? The Hermit. So it does feel like an enlightenment here about an ending. Ten of Swords. Page of Wands reversed. I'm feeling like something's not funny anymore. But I don't want to say that this is a serious month because there's a lot of good cards that were coming through, and again, creative energies, but it feels like it's coming a lot from this storm that I keep seeing. It's coming a lot through, I don't know, like when you see movies, I don't know how I can explain what I'm seeing because it's a struggle for me to really understand what they're saying. Let me take some time. I feel like this is a very, 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 very transformational month for you. But I feel like it's the right time to do something. And that's with the Hermit and the Tower, what you're probably going to understand, maybe not now, but later on in life, that not that it needed to happen, but that was the right time to make a big shift in your life. Page of Wands, like that's why I'm feeling like something's not funny anymore, you know, but not in a bad way. It will be amazing and it'll be inspirational, but it feels like you've just, as I said, maybe getting a bit tired of things not moving in the way that you want it to. So you're just kind of owning it yourself. You're deciding that you're going to make it happen, which is very empowering, very inspiring, and very beautiful and very exciting, by the way, as well. So I don't want you to think that it's like a scary month. It's not. You'll be receiving a gift. You're focusing on your present moment. You're learning a lot. You're going to have some adventures, right? But don't be tempted to lower your standards and the wedge. Something's trying to come between you and something that you want. I think you are really releasing heavily big things around you and chasing your dreams, right? That horse energy is beautiful. Don't forget that. What you're doing and the energy that you're riding on during this month is so amazingly beautiful, but it does feel like there's this crumbling going on in your current reality. And that's what I want to say about it. This kind of timeline is breaking. I'm kind of seeing it as that now, like the horse is trying to go through a portal because this old life is breaking down. The old way of doing things isn't working anymore, which is going to be incredible. So going into November, I sound like a horse. It's huge, but this month is going to be very transformational. And that's what I have to say about it. I'm seeing that you're shifting timelines. I think that's why this moment is almost like the last, it's a push. You're always going to do this at some point anyways, but this was almost like the timeline is breaking down now. So now is the right time that you have to go now. But remember what I said with the vision that I saw too? You're waiting for the time to go. You'll catch the right moment, okay? Whatever that means. I speak in metaphors because I see things visually like a movie, and it's very hard to understand how that can relate to real life. So I'm just going to do my best to say what I see, and I'll let you guys let me know how it shows up in your life. But that was like a movie, guys. Virgo. So I hope that you guys have an amazing month. I don't want you to be scared because there's nothing to be scared about. It just feels very transformational. In a great way, right? Like we're saying, like you're resurrecting in a way, that you're ending old timelines, like the devil energy, right? Of maybe being too stuck. Sometimes just the devil doesn't have to be anything crazy, but maybe you were stuck in a routine that just was a bit boring and mundane, and spirit wants you to shift things up a bit, you know, that kind of thing. Or instead of being stuck and attached to certain material wild things, it's time for adventure and fun. For example, whatever is unfolding, it is for your highest good. And I want you to know that. All right. So this horse energy, things happening very fast in October. Again, you're just getting this this urge to just do something big with your life in October is going to be a massively groundbreaking moment in your life that you're going to reflect on and say, that time in my life was so important to where you will be in the future. So I promise you, it's huge. And remember, creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. All right. I think it's going to be great. Remember, awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. And integration is about you integrating it, maybe a new you in a new life. So it's a complete shift. You're going to really see by the end of the year that October transformed your life. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I always do you guys a little bit longer, but I hope you guys have an amazing month. Let me know how it goes for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy these readings, and I'll see you guys next time, Virgo. Hello, Libra. So your affirmation to remind yourself or affirm during the month of October is, my love is stronger than arguments and fights. And at the back it says, your ego will always try to win you. You are much more than your ego. Whenever you find yourself in an argument, ask yourself, does it really matter? Is it really worth giving away my peace? All right, my angels. So that's also an affirmation for you guys to write down in the comments if you would like to enter for the giveaway. Now, you also got, Libra, the moth for the month of October. So we're going to dive into what that is saying, but it is about being hasteful and impulsive. But before we dive into it, can I just say happy birthday? It is Libra season going into October. So I hope you guys are having an amazing month, but let's see what Spirit has to say about the month. All right, my angels. So here's the moth, and it says, the moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. All right, my angels. So it is a little bit about like a moth to a flame where we feel like something might be better than it actually is. So just be aware of that during this time. Like, it's great for change, right? It's great for transformation. I'm pretty sure the moth is also like the death card. So it could be a sign that maybe something needs to transform, but to not be always wishing that the grass is greener, or wanting the grass to be greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it, and that's really important. All right, my angels, so let's dive into your cards and see what's going on for the month of October. For my gorgeous Librans, please, Spirit, be kind to them. This card has been coming out for almost everyone. I will pull you another one because of how it came out, but here and now is about being present, okay? Not focusing on the past. It's great to learn the lessons from the past, but that's about it. Don't go reminiscing or going back to things that, just need to be closed out. And going into the future as well can be great for having a vision, right? Visualizing and thinking about where we want to go. But the here and now says that sometimes it can also be overwhelming, right? The thinking about the future and can bring some anxiety, or again, wishing that everything could be better because you want it to be better in the future. So that might make you feel like the present is not good enough and feel like crap, right? And that could be overwhelming. So Spirit's saying be present with yourself. That's where the opportunities of change and new things actually come from. All right. But anyway, let's pull you another one. Spirit saying this is where you are right now. And the fates. All right, so some fated situations going on this month. So let's see what they have to say about that. I'm going to dive into some other oracles. I got loads for you. So let's see. Month of October for Libra. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So there is a little bit about Spirit kind of giving you a bit of a lesson during this month. A little bit of a reality check maybe, which I think is quite a nice thing anyways. It says dance with life, right? Bringing more play to your life, especially in this present moment, and to do something to change your energy. Like, that's your soma, right? Your maybe somatic healing, or anything somatic can actually help you, right? Like shaking stress out or shaking out your trauma, or doing some stretches can really help release things in your hips, or anything that you might be storing in your body. It feels very important. So if you're doing any breath work or anything to do with dancing, it feels very good for you. Anything else for October before we dive into the tarot? For Libra, what is that? Trust. Interesting. And his card looks so serene. trust, calm, trust and a calm. I wonder if some of you guys, yeah, like being hasty and impulsive. I wonder if things are like, maybe you have a little bit of an addiction to chaos or craving for chaos, which is, by the way, it's your nervous system that's telling you you're unsafe in the calm because it's unfamiliar to you. So this could be a really big time of where you guys are changing your nervous system. And the same thing with the whole like shaking it out or doing something to change your energy, physically moving around to change your energy, may be really all linked to the inside world, right? Your nervous system and stuff like that, which is really interesting. So Spirit is saying trust in the calm. All right, you're safe here. Okay, what else? What else do we got? Tea Leaf Tarot, of course. Let's get some specific situations that might arise for you in the month of October. Thank you. Mountain, you have a major challenge to overcome, which we have been seeing seems to be to do with that moth energy, right? Your decisions and how you're dealing with things this month, but you have happiness in the month of October, which is amazing. Happy for you. And then you also have Cobweb, and this says protected from negative forces beyond your control. All right, so anything that might arise, you are protected. Okay, let's dive into your tarot then, my angels. Let's see what's going on for you. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was missing something. What's the overall energy of the month of October for my Libras? 10 of Swords. So October marks the endings. The energy of October is all about endings. 10 of Swords, letting things go, right? 10s are all about completion, coming to the end of a chapter. 10 of Swords is a difficult chapter that you guys are closing out. Maybe ones where you felt backstabbed or betrayed, or where you feel a bit defeated by life or things and situations by life. Can I see the energy of Libra during the month of October? Strength, which says that you have the courage and strength to overcome anything during the month of October, right? Leo energy. Okay, and 10 of Swords. Why is this the energy of the month? You have the Queen, no, Page of Pentacles, and a 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so, okay. This definitely feels like the whole, like the grass is greener where you water it. The 9 of Pentacles could be that some of you guys are wanting to start your own business during this time, and this actually looks like a really good time for you because Page of Pentacles is about learning something new. I wonder if you guys are being called to really focus on your finances or your stability or again savings and stuff like that, because this is a really beautiful combination of what it looks like of learning and growing, especially when it comes down to, again, being in your own energy, being more being less codependent and more independent. And again, especially when it comes down to work and building yourself up, right? Seeing results from the work that you're doing within yourself. So this does look quite good. Again, the month is about endings, but it does feel like it's actually for a good thing for where you are increasing your wealth, where it's that maybe you're increasing your financial situation. The more that you learn, the more that you earn kind of vibe is what I'm seeing as well. Maybe you're learning new skills to earn more money. Studying something. I just feel like you're embracing your own energy a bit more. So let's clarify why you are the Strength card. Why are you the Strength card? Now the thing is with Pentacles is that they do take some time because it's all about planting seeds. The Moon, so it's about feelings and emotions. Strength, feelings and emotions. I'm going to clarify that. So the Moon card is really about suppressed feelings, right? It's about things that go on under the surface, things that not everyone really sees that we struggle with. And the Strength card being here, both are major arcana cards. So there is some big major lessons for you in the month of October, Libra, to really deal with. And that is overcoming maybe some fears, overcoming limited belief systems. Maybe it's actually a time to cleanse your energies that, you know, your past or this craving for chaos, for example, doesn't kind of interfere with your life anymore, because something's not been working for you. Why is the Moon here in Libra's energy for October? The 8 of Swords. So the Moon is all about your fears, feeling stuck. Something's making you feel panicked. What is that? 6 of Swords and 2 Pentacles. So that's good cards. You're moving towards better times. Now, some of you may actively be needing to move forward, right, with your life. And there might be some moves that needed to be made. But 2 Pentacles, 6 of Swords, I do really feel like you're already on your way Two of Pentacles is about decisions, but it's also about balancing and juggling things and keeping yourself busy, planting seeds. Six of Swords says that you're actively moving towards calmer waters, a calmer life. The Eight of Swords is that you feel a bit stuck where you are right now. So it's a lack of that trust, basically. You're feeling a lot of fear about what's going on in your life. Let's clarify that though. The Strength card again says that you have the courage. So why is the Ten of Swords the energy of the month? Ten of Swords represents what? Three of Cups. Maybe an end to a friendship here. The Sun. So the Sun is interesting because it is kind of the opposite of, not kind of, it is the opposite of the Moon. The Sun is about things that are in the light. It's about happiness, about joy. Three of Cups is also a kind of celebration at times too. So what's coming to an end? What's coming to an end? Well, actually, I feel like something came to light. Temperance, forgiving, finding harmony, right? And balance, taking some time out to fully heal from something and to enjoy this present moment. So what is exactly coming to an end? Three of Pentacles, another three. So this is telling me that you're rewriting the plan of how you're going to move forward with life. And I don't know if this is, again, your work. What's coming to an end? Six of Cups and a Nine of Cups. So I am kind of just getting this energy where you're giving up on something that you wanted. Again, it could be to do with friendship, or the Three of Cups can sometimes be a goal that we want to achieve, because it usually is celebrating something. But I feel like that's something that you're letting go of so that you can actually build something that's more long-term and more stable. So focusing a bit more on long-term success rather than short-term gains. Focusing on bringing harmony and love and light into your life by dealing with difficult feelings and emotions, right? By learning to be okay with the calm and with the stability. So the Nine of Cups and the Six of Cups, of course, feels like something that you wanted from the past. That's something that you're letting go of or finding peace with, because Temperance is there, which is a great card. Okay, let's dive into some other messages for October. What are some things that are going to happen in the month of October for Libra? What do I need to know about October? The High Priestess, clarifying that, is the Seven of Pentacles, which is, again, stability, working on your long-term success. I feel like in the month of October, you guys are really going to be dealing with your truth. Like, I feel like I'm touching my throat chakra with that. And what I mean by this is that you're really kind of diving into your subconscious belief systems. I feel like what I'm seeing, again, nervous system, belief systems, like a lot of you guys are starting to expand, but of course it means that you're doing the inner work for it first. And then they're showing me the Moon and the Sun, and they're showing me the deeper that you go within yourself, the more vibrant you shine outside of that. So it's almost showing like the inner world versus the external world and how you shine. Like it's like a mirror. Seven of Pentacles. Things have not been growing the way that you want them to, right? This is all about you planting seeds and nurturing these seeds. But I also see this as also like getting rid of the weeds. And I'm seeing that in your subconscious. So that's very powerful in the way that you're really analyzing maybe what seeds you planted or beliefs that you have accidentally gotten within yourself, and that you accidentally believed or affirmed within yourself, that you're starting to actually kind of pull them out and start to really, I'm seeing you addressing your garden. Like I'm seeing that you're really kind of focusing on what you've been growing intentionally or not intentionally and really nurturing it now, which feels very nice. This is not a time to harvest, but this is a time to really analyze what's growing in your garden and what might be, wrapping around the trees, right? Weeds. Anything else for Libra in the month of October? Knight of Pentacles, long-term success, right? This is you learning. This is you planting new things. So I do see that you guys are going to get an opportunity coming up during this time to earn more money, right? A new stream of income, or again, like a new job coming your way. A new project is what it seems. And a lot of you guys will be saving a lot more going into the end of this year. I am seeing, like, be aware of your temper, because I don't know, I'm seeing that there's this little baby, well, not baby, there's this little bunny rabbit down here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe not. but I'm seeing it banging its feet on the ground. And I wonder if that's like alerting. I wonder why they do that, but I feel like sometimes it's like out of a temper, and I'm seeing that you're doing a little bit of that. So just be aware of that. Why is that a little warning? Or cups, when things get bored. Do you do that, Libra? You start just messing things up because you get a bit bored? So this is a really important month to really work out what you're giving your time and energy to. Sometimes this can, I don't know why I'm seeing with this, like maybe it's a good time to read more books because you know you like that, getting lost in another world. So it's important to keep your real world growing, blossoming, giving your time and attention to it. But if you do like to get lost in Piscean fantasy at times and reading books or anything like that, or creating your own, I don't know, like getting into creative hobbies might really be helpful for you to escape life a little bit when it gets a bit boring, or again, bringing more adventure into your life is important. But Six of Pentacles says keep the balance, working on your routines, working on your discipline, working on, you know, whatever you're bringing to life in your daily day-to-day, right? Projects, career, health, projects as well, right? Maybe you want to be more fit or whatever it is. Keep dedicating yourself to that, right? But in the times where you feel a bit bored, mix it up a little bit, but stay balanced. And really, October just feels like it's about you working on your finances, you working on your long-term stability and success, and learning how to be familiar, learning how to get familiar with the calm and stability, because it feels new to you. Feels new to you, and you guys are really calming your nervous system down, or needing to. All right, my angels. Okay, and remember, there may be arguments coming up at this time because it is coming up in your affirmation. So let's look into that a little bit more. The Magician reversed. Interesting how it's reversed. Sometimes it can be a bit manipulative, no offense. But the Magician reversed, I feel like sometimes you might have this frustration. Why is this here? Ten of Pentacles reversed. This feels like family, actually. I feel like some of you might have like family members who might be manipulative, or yeah, like people who are just not very loyal or very committed to you in the long term as well. Like whoever they are, they're supposed to be loyal and committed based on your dynamic with them, but they're not. So during this month, they're really saying don't even waste your breath with this, because the Magician reverse feels like someone who can just spin things in their favor. So people you can never really win with. So it's a really important time to know that your family are not just blood family, it's also people that you choose. So as long as you surround yourself with amazing people, I feel like you're going to be just fine. All right, and just to kind of like spin it around again, pull your energy back to yourself. So instead of arguing and fighting with people who just aren't going to change or aren't even, you know, like loyal to you, then it's time to kind of like focus on your own energy so you can have happiness. Funny how I stopped right here. Okay, my angels, that's what I got for you. I hope this has been somewhat helpful. I hope you guys have an amazing October. If you enjoyed this reading, make sure you guys like and subscribe. But aside from that, I'll see you guys next time. Hello, Scorpio. So your affirmation for the month of October, and something to enter in the comments if you would like to enter for the giveaway, is I'm exactly who I need to be in this moment. And it says all your past actions are teaching moments for your present self. Every lesson takes you to the present moment, to exactly who you need to be. All right, my angels, what's interesting is the animal spirit that came up for you was a hyena. And really what this speaks about is kind of hiding behind a mask of humor. And I'll read it out for you just so that you get a little gist of what I'm saying. This says the hyena personality, which is how you guys are showing up in the month of October, is a jokester and crowd pleaser. But below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships, or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously, or your truth seriously? So what is interesting about it is you have this affirmation, I'm exactly who I need to be, and yet you have this mask here. So I wonder if some of you guys are hiding behind a mask in the month of October because of this fear of being seen as someone who may not be super successful, or there's some like there's some beliefs that you have about yourself deep down that maybe you don't tell people about, or you know, that maybe you don't even try to focus on too much in your own life, but it's a bit of darkness there around you. And Spirit is saying you're exactly who you need to be in this moment, with your shadow also. So it does feel like this is a very shadow side month. And by the way, I want to say happy birthday to those Scorpios who are celebrating in October. Don't worry, this message is a little bit of self-acceptance is coming through in October. The need to really identify and address this part of yourself that may be hiding in the shadows, so you can actually give it the love and the attention that it might need. Okay, which is a part of yourself that probably feels not very successful for some reason. So we're gonna dive in and see why that is. Let's just dive straight in. Let's see. For October, what is going on for my Scorpios? Awakening. This just came out for Virgos. So what does this say? This says energetic upgrade, a new way of being, integration. So it does feel like whatever is coming up during this time, it is awakening you to a new life and a new self, right? This is about a new way of being, integrating into a new self. I feel like I see like a robot getting an upgrade. You know, I feel like that's you. You're going through an upgrade, but it's only when you awaken. What does that mean? Shining a light on things that are hiding in the shadows. So all of this is like an identity shift, practically, is what I see going on for you. But let's grab some more cards out for you. Major transformation, but it all comes from when you sit with yourself. Scorpio in October. Voyage. So some of you guys could be going on a trip. All right, but either way, I kind of see that you're being lifted into a new place. Maybe you guys are moving homes. You also have wisdom coming through. So you are gaining wisdom through the journey that you're going on. I see that you're, again, some of you could be traveling, right? But I do feel like you're being put in a new environment. And again, physically, that could be a move, but that could also be like you're being put in a new energy. I do feel a bit like the whole like being put in a deep end vibe. Interesting. But that could be your shadow too. Either way, spirit is plopping you where you need to be. So you can learn what you need to learn, whatever it may be, right? Whether it be from the shadow and now you're in the kind of deeper part of the ocean where you're with the creepy crawlies and you have to look at them and love them for what they are, understand them, or whether you're being put into amazing energy. Either way, spirit is here to teach you a lesson. They're putting you here to teach you a lesson about yourself. All right, let's see. Scorpio in October, what's going on? You have the Imagine card. So again, you're rising up in a way. So the Imagine card is saying that you're entering a new chapter of your life, right? Same as that awakening, you're integrating yourself in a new chapter. And in this chapter, you can completely create whatever you want, right? It's all up to you and what you imagine for yourself. So what seems to be happening is we get the shift of a clean slate. You're getting a shift of a clean slate, which is interesting. A chance to kind of recreate whatever you want for yourself, right? Which is great. I feel like this is identity shift for sure, which will change your external environment, right? It's like when you address something about yourself, maybe you start to actually take your career more seriously, your goals more seriously, like the hyena was saying. Okay, let's dive in. Let's find out. What else do we got? We got some tea leaf tarot. This is going to give you a few specific things that may happen in the month of October. All right. Let's see. You have Chair, someone leaving your life. Okay, so maybe you're going to have a fallout with someone. You have Archway, which says new possibilities and opportunities and paths opening up for you. So what goes out, something else comes back in to fill up its space. So don't you worry. You have Hammock, which says taking a vacation physically or mentally. So that voyage could really be a little bit of a trip. And then you have something specific, like this older man being significant in October. Dealing with a relationship with an older man. But let's dive into your tarot. Let's see what's going on for you guys, Scorpio. What is the overall energy and tone and vibe of October for Scorpios? Overall theme of the month. Hermit. Right. You have a couple of cards that also jumped out with it. The main one that's showing itself is the Hermit. This is a month of introspection. And this is why I do feel like massively this is an identity shift, and this is kind of confirming that, because it feels like you're really reflecting on yourself, your life, your path, how you've shown up, what you've given out, right? It's almost like a whole life review that you guys are going through, taking some time out to yourself to really think about it. Ace of Wands is great because it feels like here, through this moment of wisdom, through this moment of really thinking and looking at life and assessing life and how you've shown up, etc., you're going to get a new spark, a new idea. Some of you will be relocating because that is a really good card for moving. And you have this, okay, what have you been waiting for? Because it's coming in. and it's going to make you very happy. And I wonder if this is an opportunity or a work opportunity, but it tells me you've been waiting for this for a long time. Maybe the last 3 months to 3 years. Yeah, I know. Some of you. 3 is significant. And it's going to take you to that 10 of Cups, that happily ever after. Interesting. But it's through some reflection that you're going through. I'm going to clarify the Ace of Wands. Or first, going to clarify the Hermit. What is the Hermit doing here as a theme for October? Four of Swords. So through this reflection, you are healing some things about yourself. And the King of Cups, which is your card, Scorpio, as well. You're healing your heart. You're healing how you deal with emotions. Okay, maybe you were a little bit, like not taking your emotions very seriously and hiding your emotions and your truth behind that mask that the hyena was saying. So taking some time out to yourself to really reflect on your truth, on the pains that you might be holding on to, resentments that you might be holding on to, is really going to help you out here. Ace of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. That's interesting. So 5 of Pentacles would tell me that you lost your spark lately because you felt really hard done by in life and maybe low and left out in the cold by life. Maybe financially things have not been looking so good for you. But the Ace of Wands feels like that's the turnaround, that you're getting a new spark, which is nice. Maybe you are relocating. The 3 of Wands is an interesting one. 3 of Wands, 8 of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. So actually, 3 of Wands, what you've been waiting for is something you've also been working really hard on. The 8 of Swords, though, tells me you felt quite stuck and trapped where you are, but you've been working to escape something, right? That could be like work. You maybe wanted to change your job or get out of a job, but you had to save money to be able to do so, kind of thing. Right? It feels like it's like that. Like you've had to work really hard to get out of a situation. And now your ship is coming in. Like savings and stuff like that. What is the ship? The Strength card. I'm going to assume that that's stability, but it's also like action. Something to take action on, because the Strength card in this deck is taking the bull by the horns, right? So it's about directly addressing a situation. Now, some of you, it could be a relationship or a commitment that you got here, or a choice that you've been needing to make and you've not been making. 4 of Cups being here, Death card. So 4 of Cups can sometimes be that things have been like jaded and bored for some time. You've been jaded and bored for some time, feeling like life is kind of not feeling so great, emotionally not really fulfilling, feeling a little bit out. Just not like, look at her face. Feeling a bit like life has not been giving her a lot of opportunities. Death card represents change. Lovers represents choice. 9 of Swords. Something that may have been scary for you. A choice that's been scary for you, or at least haunting you for some time. So the ship is actually a major choice you're going to make that's really going to transform your life. And again, lovers could be to do with a person, and the Death card being there. Leaving a person, for example. What does the lovers or the choice represent? 3 of Swords. Whatever it is, the choice is not an easy one to make, because it probably is going to make things uncomfortable. It might bring you some pain. It might make you a bit hurt, right? Because maybe you have to let go of some things. King of Swords. Maybe you have to get more disciplined. Maybe you have to have a different approach to what you're used to. And the 10 of Cups. 6 of Cups, which tells me amazing soulmates on the horizon for you, and the Emperor. So some of you are going to be having children in this new future. What can I say about it? 3 to 4 months for some of you. If not 3 to 4 months, they're showing me 2026. They're showing me April, January, February, March, or April, that you will be having a family or being pregnant. That's a prediction for someone out there. But this tells me with the 10 of Cups that this is really good for family. Okay. The father figure, the Emperor is a father figure, right? So maybe it's meeting a soulmate around that time. But it can also really just be about you being in control of your life, and maybe you being in that position of authority in the family, in your happiness. Okay. All right. Let's dive in then a bit more to what else is going on in October. So majorly what this is feeling is that you're really kind of filling in the gaps and the holes in your life where you've had a lot of limited belief systems and, again, some shadows that's been suppressed. Because the Five of Pentacles, again, maybe there has been a financial lack. The Magician being here says that you have all the tools that you need to create more. Okay, so you already have enough. So I know it doesn't feel like it, but that's why the Magician is all about manifesting, because in order to manifest, we have to come from a place of not only gratitude, but that you've got it already and that you can have it. So we're going from this place of lack to, I already have what I need and I'm going to grow even more. And that could relate back to your affirmation that you already are who you need to be in this moment. And you are enough, right? Are you who you want to be in like it? You know, at the end goal? No, but you're working on it. So it's almost like when you embrace and feel happy about the fact that you're working on it, the more powerful you're going to feel and the more likely you are to actually step into alignment to that version of yourself that you want to become or the things that you want to have. But the moment that you start feeding doubt into yourself, the moment that you actually stop taking action because you don't believe it anyway, so why would you even try? So it's this almost like this big shift within yourself where you're really reflecting on things and you're reflecting on this part of yourself that does feel a bit like a failure, like someone who I'm picking up on. You're not, by the way. There's like this energy where you feel like I'm not doing enough and I'm not, maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. Like it's just this energy of, if you actually saw how far you've been in life, you probably wouldn't feel the way that you do now because you've been through a lot. Life could be very different. Where is the Hermit? It's disappeared. Interesting. Where is it? Maybe the last card I pick up on? Yeah. It's all about teaching yourself and using your wisdom to guide you during the month of October. Anything else for Scorpio? Diving deep. The Fool. And I love that they did that actually, because the Hermit and the Fool represents a new cycle. And the theory is that the Hermit was once the Fool, but now he's back, you know, where he was, reflecting on the beginning of that journey that he took. So it feels a little bit like now you're going back to being the Fool again, where you're able to just dive into life as a new version of yourself and go down a new path full of more lessons to learn. So I feel like you're coming full cycle here, full circle. The Hermit reflecting on your past, being honest with yourself about where you want to go, who you want to be, and stepping into that. The ship is coming in. A decision that you need to make is important. And what am I rambling about? Well, like if you imagine like a ship, like, okay, now your ship is actually coming in. The opportunity that you've been waiting for to have that happiness, to have that emotional fulfillment is coming in the month of October. But you now have to get on the ship, which means you have to leave behind where you've always been, right? Who you've always been, in order to go where you want to go. So it's that kind of beautiful shift that's scary and daunting, but super transformative and incredible because it's taking you where you want to go. That's amazing, right? But of course, there's pain of the past, or, you know, I wonder if someone is leaving your life as an old version of yourself, the person who would hide behind humor, right? They'll be afraid of change. Because who you are right now, and I want you to listen to your truth, like what's going on within you. You are enough. You always have been enough. You always will be enough. There's no need to hide behind this humor or to hide behind a mask or to hide your shadow, right? Everyone's got one. Okay, well, self-development for sure, an identity shift for sure, Scorpio, but that's what I got for you. Apologies if it's been a bit too deep and weird, but I hope that it resonated with someone out there who needed to hear it. And if it did, let me know. And if it did, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October. I'm going to dive straight into it. I have an affirmation for you, so let's dive into this. This says, I am grateful for my body, my mind, and my soul. And it says, your body allows you to get up every morning and live. Your mind allows you to feel alive, and your soul is the one that allows you to have meaningful connections. Give thanks to them daily. You have all three guaranteed. If you're watching this video, there are some things to really sit and reflect on during the month of October for gratitude. Okay, just these simple things help us so much, so let's just make sure we don't take them for granted. The next thing that I have for you is this spirit animal. And by the way, if you want to enter for the giveaway, that is the affirmation to put down in the comments. But you guys have the elephant, and this is very powerful. It says the elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is a destroyer of obstacles, so if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. I think that's really powerful because I've already tried to do your reading. Like, this is the third time. So I hate repeating myself, but I think it's important to make sure I get it all. Because the elephant here, it has a broken tusk as well. So whenever I read this card for someone, you've been through so much, Sagittarius. My goodness, you've had to really break down barriers that have maybe, you know, really been very painful for you to have to do, right? You've been through the war, basically, in life. So I want to kind of say that I feel like you guys don't really trust in your power. You don't remember your power. Because what I was seeing in the other recordings I was trying to do for you is not only is this a fire element in this deck, so telling me that you are, you know, a fire sign, you're stepping into your power, stepping into that fiery energy. And with this card, I see the fire being like, I kind of see it being not anger. You know, I feel like it's not just about the warmth. I feel it like a power. I'm seeing this fire as power for you. So the month of October is not only going to be about your good fortune and gaining wisdom and self-awareness and knowledge being important, breaking down obstacles being important in the month of October, but I feel like you're gaining your power back. And something I was seeing in the other recordings, like if I was getting some visions of some things where I feel like I was seeing this beautiful big elephant, which is you, in like confined by these tiny little fences. And what I was picking up on is that these are not just limited beliefs that, you know, you kind of started to believe within yourself. These were things that were taught to you. Some of you have belief systems that you were conditioned to believe, maybe by certain people in your life, by life itself, has put you in these little boxes or this little, I don't know, this little fence. And the irony, Spirit was saying, it's ironic because you could break out of this fence at any moment, but you're giving the fence more power than you have within yourself. So it's like this, or maybe it's the fear, you know, what if the fence is electric? You know, what if it like gives me a spark? You know, it's almost like, and then now they're showing me like, you know, the science labs where it's like monkeys get conditioned with a shock to not do something. And this kind of still brings in this analogy where I feel like you guys maybe were punished for being in your power. And that's really what I'm getting in your life. So October is you recognizing that you are way, you know, like what is a shock to an elephant? You know, it's almost like that little shock that you're scared of happening again, a little punishment people might give you. Not only is it probably not going to happen, but it's like you're recognizing that your power in life, what you've been through. And what I was also seeing is an elephant looking in a mirror, seeing a little mouse. You know, it's like you guys don't recognize how strong you are, how powerful you are, and how you can just easily overcome some challenges. And maybe you fall in, you know, victim to victimhood because again, you were conditioned to be there because people put you there and people punished you for trying to get out of it. I don't know what it is. It just feels like every time you try to get out this fence, something happened. So of course you learn to stay in this little box. So the month of October is you breaking that down and Spirit giving you the signs and the power, you know, not just the power because you've already got it within you, but the opportunity to break out of a box. Now, I already pulled you some cards out because the first time I recorded, my mic suddenly wasn't working. Second time I recorded, only the intro. I wasn't even recording. That sucks. But you had these two cards. The first one I was speaking about is the clean up, which is about being the leader of your life, right? This is a stag energy. So it is, you know, really embodying that masculine energy within yourself. It doesn't really matter about gender, but it is about action. It's about discipline. It's about pushing. It's about force. Okay. It's about structure. Okay. As well. Making hard decisions even as well as that Emperor energy. So this is really about you calling your power back to yourself and you starting to do the things that you need to do. Clean up is kind of like getting rid of the backlog of things. Like some of you might have, you know, lots of lists that you've been needing to do for some time. October is you getting it done, right? Write down a big list of things you needed to do and that you've been delaying and start taking them off the list. This is not a time to leave it for later. October is a powerful month for getting things done, clearing the air. Really important time to clear your home, right? Maybe there's a lot of baggage and like not physical, maybe there's a lot. I'm seeing stale energy. And I feel like things are, if you're stuck in life, it could be a little bit of feng shui. I don't know how to pronounce it, and also if that makes any sense. But that's what I'm picking up on, is that there's a little bit stuck energy in your life in general. Maybe that's just the law of the universe, that something is stuck, so everything is stuck. And I just want you to clear your home, right? And this is also about making peace, right? Because this is clearing the air. So clean it up, get rid of things that are bogging you down, bringing you down, get rid of things that are just creating a mess in your life, because it's time to clean it up. Okay. Then you have here and now, which has been coming up for almost everyone actually during this video, during my day today. So it's all about your present moment. I always say the past. Oh, they're showing me the one from Kung Fu Panda. I don't remember it. Okay. The past. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google that. My phone is dead, so I can't Google it. Someone let me know in the comments, but I feel like it's like the past. I don't know, but I remember the ending of it, which is the present is a gift. Someone let me know in the comments. But either way, the past can be great for learning lessons, right? Teaching us things, reflecting on that can be great. But if we do too much of it, it can be very traumatic, right? We repeat that trauma in our mind, and it can be very hard because we get attached to it, even if it's just emotionally, and we don't move on from it, right? And maybe those are the fence for you. That could be your past. You're stuck in a past. The future is also great because we can really, aim for things, right? It gives us a sense of direction. It gives us something to visualize, but thinking too much about it can make us overwhelmed and anxious. So both of these energies, if negatively, enforced, they can actually make your present moment stagnant, both of them. So if we use them wisely, it can help us. But Spirit's really kind of honing in on the fact that you are right here, right now. This is what's important to bring into your awareness. Okay, not where you used to be, who you used to be, how long you've been in that fence for. I don't know why I keep coming back to this analogy. It's like, but I've always been here. Maybe you feel like you're too old, it's too late, it's too, you've been here for too long and you can't change it now, but that's what Spirit's saying. Hello. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be silly. All right, let's dive into the rest of your cards. So I have quite a few for you today. Let's see. Sagittarius in October. What do you have? You have illumination. So things are being brought to light. I love that energy for you, which just makes sense with what we're already saying. All right, let's get some more. For a Sagittarius, please, Spirit. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So things are starting to fall away, right? This kind of looks like the Tower card, to be honest, where things are kind of starting, well, in this card, they're opening up, actually, instead of falling apart. Things are opening up. What are you clinging on to? You might be holding on to some things. Again, the past, the fence, your comfort zone. I don't know what the fence means for you. You guys let me know in the comments if you feel, comfortable too, but it's very important. It's become so familiar for you. Sagittarius, what's going on for Sag in October? Thank you. So I'm not going to lie, you did already have great fortune with the elephant, and you have it again. 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. You do have reefs, so some of you might be processing loss. It says sorrow after a loss, over a loss. That could be financial loss, but it just says that you might be, grieving something. It could be an older man, dealings of relationship being important with an older man, and bear with me. And Turkey, someone is behaving stupidly this week. I wonder if that is that older man. I don't know who it is. It doesn't have to be older than you, but I feel like maybe you guys... Apologies. I don't know where that came from. But what I was going to say, because I paused naturally to think, was that I feel like some of you might not be speaking to someone because they were being a bit stupid. I feel a bit of arrogance on someone's side, and there could be something about that coming up during this time in October, where someone's just being really stupid and maybe arrogant and really maybe coming from a place of ego, and I feel like you're disconnected from them because of them. Okay, anyways, what's going on? What's the theme for October for Sagittarius? Ooh. Wheel of Fortune. It died right on top of the elephant as well. So your fortune is changing in the month of October, Sagittarius. Let's see why. My whole deck is upside down. It's interesting how that came in the upright. Theme for October for Sagittarius. the Death card, major change, transformation, and the Queen of Wands. This is you entering a new era of your life, Sagittarius. While yes, things are closing out, right? The Death card is transformation. I feel like you are transforming and your life is transforming. Queen of Wands is again that fiery energy that I was seeing with the elephant, where you're recognizing your power. I want to say you may look different than everyone else, but that's your strength. That's your speciality, right? That's your star gift. I don't know what they're saying here, but the Queen of Wands again is you stepping into your power. Interesting. How are you actually showing up though? How are you feeling in October? Eight of Cups, Six of Swords. So some of you could be moving, but this is about you moving on. The Eight of Cups suggests that you guys will be leaving things, walking away from things that don't serve you, whatever that may be, so you can move forward with your life towards stability, towards better times. Six of Swords is also a really good card for taking the lessons with you and leaving the rest behind. So this could be a really big time where you're fully letting go, which is great to see. Let me just adjust myself. Where's my deck? Let's get some more. Let's see. What are you walking away from? Eight of Cups. The Hanged Man, feeling stuck. So this tells me you gained enlightenment here recently. Or you are during the month of October, right? Because it did say illumination. You're starting to see signs that it's time for a change. It's time for a new life. Things that have kept you stuck, trapped, tied up. Interesting. Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. So some of you could be changing your work, to be honest, but Eight of Pentacles is such an amazing card for building on your finances, right? Six of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles suggests maybe you guys are getting a new job where you're actually going to be free to gain whatever, you put your hard work and efforts into. Maybe that's freelance, or again, it just feels a bit like a better work situation. Eight of Pentacles. Wherever you're going, it is a lot to do with your stability and finally being able to no longer... I feel like some of you could be getting out of debt, by the way. I see that as well. I wonder how you're able to do that. I don't know. Let's just say a blessing comes through for you. Great fortune, right? Because I feel like where once before it felt like your energy was going into this black hole, you're now able to actually see some results because of where you're going. The Sun. And it's got that stag energy again. So being in your masculine energy, regardless of your gender, is going to be so important in the month of October, because this is where you're shining, taking action, being in a leadership position, or again, just focusing on things that bring you happiness. And of course, the Sun is also illumination. This is really where you're going to thrive. I love that. So can I dive a bit deeper into that analogy of the wall? And we have people building a wall here. Seven of Wands. Life taught you that it was safer in a small little box. I feel like you guys have been through a lot. I asked, how can you break through? Ace of Wands and the Empress, which is reversed. But I feel like this is kind of the same message of you standing in your power and you taking, I want to say with the Ace of Wands, maybe it is about a new fresh start that's coming through for you that really is going to help move you forward. But it's also interesting because you're stepping into that masculine energy, which is great, by the way. Creation, but really through action. So the Empress may be how you've been in your feminine, which is fine as well. But it's reversed too. So maybe you've been in your passive feminine, which is kind of about being a little bit like, how do I want to say this? I kind of feel a little bit, who else had this in their reading? I don't remember who it was, but it was a bit like the Empress being reversed was about being passive and kind of being overly kind or allowing things to just completely slip you by, right? She's about the flow, which is amazing. But I feel a little bit like when she's passive, it's like just letting everything slip by, right? And I feel like that's what you're letting go of, is this passive energy. And now you're stepping into an energy of action and force and creativity and newness, if that's a word. Again, some of you could be changing jobs. Something new is coming through. Let me see what this is about. Ace of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Feels like a new project. This could be like a side hustle or something you're deciding to start on your own. Again, it definitely feels like a place where you can grow projects, plans, whatever it is. Ace of Wands with the Three of Pentacles is having an idea and taking action on it. Something that you could probably earn from. Tower. Why is a Tower here? The King of Wands. Some of you are going to meet a soulmate through this big shift in your life if you're single. Now, for some of you, if you are not single, then it's just not your message. I was going to see if I could see anything. Maybe a change of homes. The Five of Cups, which is about, worried over spilt milk here. Crying over spilt milk, which is worrying about things you can't change. But where it's like, I don't know why I feel called to say this now, but when we cry over spilt milk, that phrase, it really is like, oh, what you're crying for is over nothing, right? What is it? But I feel like we cry over spilt milk because we've had enough. And I feel like that's the energy I get with you, is that, and that's probably why I'm saying it now, is like, I feel like it may feel like you're worried about small things to people, but I really feel like it's like, you've had enough. You've dealt with enough. So crying over spilt milk is only because you're tired and you're frustrated and you're exhausted. But this is where things are changing for you. And of course, focusing on the positives is going to be important with the Five of Cups. But I do feel like everything is kind of shifting for you to have a brand new start and beginning. Now, of course, I feel like you're going to need to probably make a change. And I say that because I see that the elephant has to push through that fence. What is that? The Queen of Swords. Just standing in your truth, your power, cutting things out, letting things go, speaking your mind in the month of October, and the Page of Wands. And I feel like this is where your flame comes back. I always see the Page of Wands as a cheeky energy. Now, for some of you, if there is gossip about you, I was going to say around you, but if it's about you, then this could be a big time where you're kind of breaking the mold. Maybe you're speaking your mind and cutting things out, right? Because the Queen of Swords is about discipline, not about discipline. Yeah, it is about that. It's about clarity, taking action on what's clear, and what you're able to see. Boundaries, protecting your truth, and being very direct with people. And I feel like for you, it's also bringing more fun to your life. That little flame, like I said. I feel like whatever this is, knowing your power and your strength is going to give you a little bit of a thrill. It's going to give you a thrill, and it's going to make you push forward and want to keep going forward. So I feel like standing in your power is going to be very important. Okay, my angels, reminding yourself of your power is important. And again, you're moving towards better days when it comes down to finances, because you're leaving things behind that don't serve you anymore. Remember, what are you clinging on to? Because things are crumbling. It's time to get with the change. All right, my angels. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. That is what I have for you. Let me know in the comments if it resonates, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you want to. But aside from that, I'll see you guys next time. Hello, Capricorn. So here's your affirmation for the month of October. And also, if you wanted to enter for the giveaway, then this is also something to put in the comments. And yours says, I wake up today with joy in my heart and clarity in my mind. And the back of the card says, this is an amazing affirmation to help you start your day feeling energized. Make a conscious decision daily to have a great day. So that is going to be a bit of a theme for you guys, or something to carry with you for the month of October. Now, the animal spirit that wanted to come out for you to kind of represent this month is the owl, which, is all known to be about wisdom, maybe even a spirit guide following you around in the month of October as well. But I'm just going to read what it says from this book. And this says, the owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is a companion of the goddess Lakshmi, and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. My goodness, I need to wake up a little bit here. So the month of October already is basically saying that it's all about your wealth, it's about beauty and good fortune, which is kind of giving me also Empress vibes, by the way, which could possibly be a bit of a theme for the month as well. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. All right, so some of you could definitely be receiving some wealth, some money, maybe an increase in income, whatever it is, but maybe that's coming through for you as well. But it does also say spiritual. So maybe you guys are getting some passed down information from your ancestors. With our wisdom on your side this month, you'll see and know exactly what to do, how it can further serve your dharma this month and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. So this whole month is basically all about you receiving gifts. That could be spiritual gifts, right? There is something that is being given to you. And for some of you, I do feel like it's information, it's enlightenment, it's an epiphany maybe for some. Or again, it could be actual treasure. Maybe you're receiving a gift. Maybe something's being passed down to you during this month. Whatever it is, there's something very important about it. Which we'll dive into the tarot and see. So this month, you're going to start seeing your intuition heightened, Capricorn. So maybe you're going to start to see more signs, synchronicities from the universe. Maybe your dreams are going to be more vivid during this month. And also, you're just going to have this very deep knowing. And they want you to follow that. So let's see what else is going on for you during the month of October for my gorgeous Capricorns out there. What is the overall energy of the month of October? What's going to go on? Okay, you have two. My whole deck is upside down. So you have two cards coming out. Number one is higher power, which is literally saying that, again, you guys are unlocking some psychic gifts during the month of October. Again, clairvoyance, all that kind of stuff is what you're opening up to. You're going to be able to start to feel more, be more connected to a higher power. That's God, that's the universe, that's spirit, whatever you want to call it. You guys are getting and receiving answers here, connecting more. Now, what's interesting is what you might see in your material world is that there is a little bit of chaos and conflict going on around you. And a big message that they want you to know during this month is it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Sometimes we can feel like things are crumbling or who we are is starting to dissipate, right? Maybe you're changing in your identity without. So what I see in this card, as you can see, the zebra is kind of like its external layer is falling away to kind of reveal a new you. So some of you could actually be going through a bit of an upgrade within yourself. It might feel like chaos, right? Maybe you lose your job, or maybe, you know, which it's not a prediction. I'm just saying, maybe friends start to fall away, but it's all kind of helping to emerge this new life, or helping this new life to emerge, should I say. That's what it feels like to me. So it feels like, oh no, what's happening? Like everything's crumbling away. And then you realize, oh, this is an upgrade. So that's what I'm kind of seeing with this month. So again, allow what needs to fall apart to fall away so that you can really reveal this beautiful essence underneath. And that could be within you, right? Maybe you guys are letting go of survival mechanisms, of ways of being that just no longer serve you, right? Maybe belief systems, so that you can actually really kind of uncover this new version of yourself. Through this month. Okay, my angels, so let's dive in a little bit more. I have some more oracles. So what Spirit is wanting to say is that this is all about alignment. This month is all about you aligning to most likely a new path to Spirit. You're aligning to Spirit, and it's helping you to align to maybe a new version of yourself. Because I do see that there's changes in your material world. It's not just spiritual alignment. You're also aligning to a new way of being. Okay, what else you got? You've got play being important for the month of October. All right, this says have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And Capricorn, you guys do have a bit of a rep for being serious, right? Money-oriented, career-oriented, workaholics, that kind of stuff. But Spirit's asking you for more excitement, more play, to have some fun a little bit. Maybe even with your identity. This could be a month where you guys just change your whole appearance, right? Maybe you go for a new hairstyle. Maybe you decide to go for a new hair color. Maybe you decide to wear something different, do something different, and just turn up differently in group or social settings. There's just this element of just going, do you know what the heck? Like, we only live once. Let's just play around a little bit. So I like this energy a lot. Maybe it's a good time again to just do more creative things in your free time. Which I like as well. But let's see what else for you. What's going on for Capricorn in October? Virgo had this energy as well, and it was all about adventures. This month is about adventures, and they're also highlighting being adventurous as well. So maybe this is a time to get your hiking boots on and just explore new territories, new environments, new projects, right? It's just really about that fiery energy. It does feel a little bit like this month is a fire element for you. So again, excitement, passions, desires, creativity. I like this a lot for you guys. All right, let's dive into your tarot. Oh no, before we do, I'm going to get some specific messages of things that might come up during the month of October for you. Capricorn, please. Okay. You got quite a few. So some of you are going to find love or deepen a connection. This is love, deep affection and caring. So your heart is going to be open during this month. You have Vine, which is saying that during this month, you're going to need to seek out information to help you. Okay, so maybe that means there is some research that needs to be done that might help you out on certain projects. You have Crown, which says honor and respect will come to you during this month. So maybe you guys are going to be recognized or put in a position of authority, or people are going to start to respect you a little bit more. You also have Candle saying that during the month of October, you will be shown the way. And that makes a lot of sense with the owl that came out as well for you guys, meaning that spirit is really heavily guiding you through the month of October. So don't be afraid. And then we have a Mule, which could be you or someone else around you. And this says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. All right, my angels. So that could be a little bit of a wake-up call that maybe it's not your job to change people. Or if this is you being a bit stubborn, then it's time to kind of be more playful. Okay. Now let's dive into the tarot. Let's see what the overall energy of the month is with the tarot cards. Let's see, for Capricorn, what's the overall energy of October? What's the vibe? What's going on for Capricorn in October? I'm going to take this one. Ten of Cups. My deck is kind of filled with reversals and uprights, but you have the Ten of Cups coming through. So ultimately, this month is going to be really happy. It is about your community. It is about you feeling more aligned to your dreams and your goals, because Ten of Cups always for me is that emotional fulfillment that we feel when we think about our amazing future. We feel gratitude. So this month is a happy month for you, where the rainbows are finally coming out. The sun's starting to shine after maybe you've been through some stormy times. So that's really good. It's a happily ever after month for you. So that's good. Anything else for the month of October for Capricorn? Okay, we have the Three of Swords. So a lot of you guys are going to be healing from heartache. I do feel like this is probably this chaos and conflict that's coming up for you. Maybe you guys are having to detach from certain people. I'm going to clarify that a bit deeper. So you have a little bit of contrast for the month of October. It's bittersweet, basically, is what they're saying. You have this amazing Ten of Cups energy about really finding your community, really feeling fulfilled in terms of your emotions and how things are moving for you. But of course, there is a little bit of pain coming through. So I have to dive into that a bit more. What is that about? Why is the Three of Swords here for the month of October? Page of Wands. So I would say that this has to do with that playful energy. Page of Wands and the Three of Swords, because this is a really good card for creativity, for letting your inner child out. And I feel like maybe that's something that Spirit's really, really, really heavily advising you, is to really start to be more playful, because I feel like you've been through so much pain, Capricorn, that it's so hard for you to open up that part of yourself again, right? Because you don't want to. Maybe you just don't feel like it. You feel too hard to be playful, right? It's that kind of energy. What is the source of the Three of Swords? What created this heartache and pain for Capricorn? Seven of Cups. So that could be that things are a little bit up in the air right now, where we did have this element of chaos and conflict. It feels like your emotions might be a little bit everywhere during this month, which, you know, some good, some bad, right? You might feel like some days are better than others, because the Seven of Cups is this, there's some good things, and I think there's things this month that will make you feel inspired, but there are other times and other feelings and emotions that maybe you will be reflecting on that might bring up some pain. So Spirit is kind of wanting you to maybe detach from some pains that you've been through. Some of you may have been dealing with people who, again, may have left you, like breadcrumbed you. I do get a sense of feeling confused, feeling a lack of closure that could be a little bit troublesome for you guys. Three of Swords. Fool. So Three of Swords does mark the beginning of a new journey. So definitely whatever came to an end is closed out. This says that you're about to embark on a new adventure. And the Ten of Cups, I want to look at why is this also energy of the month. You're going to be a busy bee, what I'm hearing. And then the Five of Wands and the whole entire deck came out. So the Five of Wands, of course, is about competition and conflict. But the good news is the Ten of Cups is again saying that you are going to have happily ever after celebrations, if you will, during this month as well. So I do feel like you guys are going to rise above competition if that's something you've been worried about. A lot of you guys, again, are going to overcome any conflicts that you have with people. And I do feel like, again, Spirit is kind of asking you during this month to let go of any clashes that you have with people so you can choose happiness, right? Because the Five of Wands can sometimes be petty arguments, it's disputes, it's disagreements, it's button heads with people. And sometimes we just have to understand, okay, we're just going to have to agree to disagree here, because otherwise you're always going to be in this chaos and conflict. So as I'm saying, October is going to really bring you adventure, and I really want you to start to step into that energy too, because, you know, life is really a bit of a choice here. And maybe that goes back to your affirmation about waking up and choosing to have a good day. So life has been quite tough for you, huh? That's what it feels like. But again, this is a happy month overall. Let's see. What is the energy of Capricorn during this month? What's the overall energy of Capricorn? The Tower. So you are definitely going through a shift within yourself, right? The Tower is, especially up in your energy, tells me you are really going through a big shift within yourself. You're going to be letting go of a lot of traits within yourself that you just no longer align with and no longer want to be, you know. And the Ten of Swords as well does feel like a bit, I want to say an ego death, but it doesn't feel like that, but it is kind of a change in your identity and how you show up in the world. Ten of Swords says you're putting aside a part of yourself who's just been a bit tired with life, right? Backstabbed, betrayed, or been through a lot of heartache and pain. So you are going to be rising up from that, but it does feel like with the Tower you're having to let go of a lot of things. So let's dive into what that is. What is the Tower card doing here in Capricorn's energy? The Queen of Cups. And that is in the upright, which is nice. It feels like you guys are going to be prioritizing your heart space. And I do get the sense here that you guys are, this month, you are going to be choosing love. You're going to be choosing what makes you happy. And it does mean, like we said before, that things are going to start falling away for you to really kind of unlock this essence of yourself. And it makes sense with the owl because the Queen of Cups is also very highly intuitive. So it feels like you're stepping more into the spiritual side of yourself, this emotional side of yourself. And that may mean letting go of certain things that have been blocking that. And the Magician. So you can start manifesting more. And the Empress coming through, which is what I was feeling as well with that owl energy, because you're working with good fortune, beauty, wealth. The Empress is all about abundance, unconditional love. So it does feel like you're stepping into this energy, but again, you're having to let go of things that just aren't aligned to that. The Magician this month is all about you stepping into an identity and an energy of manifesting. So they're saying heart full. So I do see that this month you are going to shift from a pessimistic perspective to an optimistic perspective. And they're saying that this month you are going to have a full heart. Your heart is going to be full, which I think is nice. And I do feel like you're focusing more on gratitude. Or if not, that's your advice. Because I feel like the Magician, again, is having everything that you need already, and because of that, manifesting in more, calling in more, but not from a place of lack and desperation, which we all tend to do from time to time. Where it's like, I really, really need it. I can't live life without it, right? It's coming from a place of lack. But when you say, I'm so happy with what I got, thank you so much, Spirit, Universe, for this. Spirit starts to bring in more because you feel so full. All right, let's see. Capricorn, what is the advice that you have for the month of October for Capricorn? Ace of Pentacles. This marks a brand new start for you, okay? Especially in terms of your stability. As we said, you might be receiving some money during this month, right? Maybe an increase in money, maybe a new stream of income, or again, just a brand new clean slate for you to really work on. And Three of Cups, this will be something that you will be celebrating during this month. So maybe you guys get a new job, or again, you get put into a new position, like we said with the Crown. Okay, my angels. I want to dive in a little bit more to that high because I just want to see a little bit about what they're saying. Why is that so significant? The Empress again. Okay, so this does really feel like you are releasing anything maybe from the past and situations where, yeah, you once felt haunted by your decisions. Maybe in your choice of people, right? For some of you, this could be in terms of love, but not for all of you. It just feels a little bit like letting go so that you can actually trust your intuition a bit more. The Lovers being about choices. And the Nine of Swords. This is something that makes you very fearful and worried and doubtful in your own intuition. Maybe you picked, maybe you really felt like someone was right for you, and you chose them and then it ended up hurting you. And now you might be a little bit not trusting yourself and your intuition because, you felt like it was a wrong decision. But I'm asking you, or Spirit saying that, I'm asking you, now it's gone. Maybe it served its purpose. Did you think about that? Sorry, like I feel like something's saying that. Maybe it served its purpose. And if so, what purpose did it serve in your life? What did it teach you? What did it guide you towards, if anything, right? Maybe it was your intuition. Maybe it was something you had to go through in order to move forward and learn something, or to understand something different about yourself, or maybe to reflect something about yourself, or maybe it's about the decisions, or maybe I feel like you made an intuitive decision that you're now regretting or feel like you regret, because it does still haunt you, not gonna lie, or at least make you again scared to trust your intuition again. There's a reason why you were guided to that, and I just want to ask you, I wonder why that is, because I don't know. I don't know what you've been through, so it's up to you really to understand that, because the Empress being here with the Three of Swords as well is really healing, and knowing nothing can really take from you if you're an unconditional, if you're an unlimited being, right? So maybe where you feel like there is a loss and a lack, you can refill that up within yourself, like the Empress does. So again, that heart being full. Okay. Well, you guys let me know what this means for you during this month. I really hope you can have an amazing month. Remember, 10 of Cups came out first. First card is the most powerful, and it is a really happy, emotionally joyful card, okay? Saying that everything's going to work out well for you. The rainbow is shining after your storm, which, Three of Swords may not be a prediction for your month. It may be something that you're already going through. So this is really you stepping into your power with that Empress energy of beauty, knowing your worth, knowing your value, sitting on that throne, right? Demanding respect from others, not going down to other people's levels, but knowing that you are already worthy. And from that, you're going to start manifesting a lot more, because you don't need to be anyone different than who you are right now. Right? And showing up every day for yourself and choosing to have a good day, choosing to make sure that it's a good day, right? Which can be your emotional well-being, mental well-being, but also what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Showing up for yourself shows that you are already worthy, right? Because otherwise, why would you be showing up for yourself if you didn't love yourself? So it's already there, it's already within you. And I feel like when you start giving to yourself and putting that energy out there in the universe based on what you're already putting out there to yourself, it's going to come back to you. So I really want you to kind of focus on that. Instead of it being lack, I want you to stop looking outside of yourself and start looking within, because that's really where you're going to start to see it reflecting back to you in your external. So that's something Spirit wants you to say. So a big month for manifestation, a big month for your heart space, a big month for happiness, and a big month for being aligned to where Spirit wants you to go. Okay, so trust your intuition, trust your inner guidance, have more fun during this month. All right, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. All right, hello my gorgeous Aquarians. So already I have some of the cards out for you. I got your affirmations, so this is something that they want you to affirm during the month of October. And if you wanted to enter the giveaway, then this is something to put in the comment section. But you have, I embrace my unique individuality, which is so ironic because Aquarius, you are known to be completely different to the rest of the zodiac signs. You guys stand out. So there is something very unique about you guys, and they really want you to embrace who you are during the month of October. On the back of this, it says, follow your heart, not the expectations of others. Have the courage to ask yourself, who am I? And embrace it. So this could definitely be something to journal around, right? Who are you? Really, not who you want to be, not who you want others to see you as. Who are you? What do you enjoy? What do you not like? Right? Really diving into who you are is going to be so helpful. Of course, you can change it if you don't like it, but I really want you to embrace who you are and understand sometimes our insecurities are actually our greatest gifts that we have, right? Is what separates us from others and makes us unique and different. So that's something to reflect on during the month of October. Now, what's interesting is you have two animal spirits that wanted to come out for you. And overall, I'm going to read out the books for you guys so that you guys can get the full messages of both of these cards. But one thing I want to say, the raccoon is really about kind of hiding your talents from others and being a bit scared to show face. And the earthworm is interesting because it is about learning new things. And so some of you in your career during the month of October, you need to shine bright. Do not be afraid of your unique talents and abilities. All right. Maybe there is still a lot to learn. Maybe you feel like a newbie still in an industry or whatever you're doing, but I really want you to embrace your gifts during this month. Okay. So I'm just going to read it out the book. Earthworm is the main one, and that's what Spirit wanted to say. So I'm going to show you. So this says, we have all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember they once felt earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights. So this says you might be shy, hesitant, reluctant to share your inner visions, and a raccoon is something similar. This says raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, oh my God, I can't read, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So isn't that so interesting how they both seem to be about, really embracing where you are, your skills, your talents, what you're going into. And I wonder in a way if that raccoon and the earthworm being a newbie, the raccoon being that there's your inner self, and also the affirmation aligns too. So this month of October really is figuring out who you are, whether that be in your career, whether that be how you show up in love or whatever area of your life, and just in general, how you show up in the world. It really is about really finding the essence of who you are and letting yourself be you. Yes, there's a lot to learn about maybe who you are at the core, probably because you probably had a mask this whole time. So it really is about your authenticity. I really love the messages coming through for you. But let's dive into the rest of the tarot cards. For the month of October, it feels quite big. Oh my God, my whole deck is a bit weird. But let's see what's going on for Aquarius during the month of October. What is the energy of the month of October for Aquarius? New life. Look at that. You guys are waking up. You guys are being reborn, right? You're hatching again. You're completely entering a new life. I feel like the month of October is really going to remove any restrictions or limitations that you have once felt that might be stopping you. And this could, again, be this whole new you. Maybe you're just starting to be more unlimited in your possibilities and your way of thinking and your beliefs and what you can achieve, which I love that for you, because it just feels like this month is a breath of fresh air for you. And I just feel like I'm feeling the air in my skin. It feels like you're finally coming outside again, right? Maybe after being inside for so long. I love this energy. It feels new sensations coming up in this month, maybe new taste, maybe you're trying new things. I just feel like your senses are going to be tickled. New tastes, new touch, new sensations, new feelings. It's an interesting month. How it feels like you've been locked away. But I feel like that's this you deep down. Maybe it's your inner child, I don't know, but it feels a bit like you're unzipping this external layer and now you're coming out, right? And now you're able to feel it for yourself and not through this ego or this identity that just doesn't fit you anymore. And interesting how I said doesn't fit you anymore, because it does feel like you're outgrowing situations. I love it. All right, let's see what else is going on for October. Flexibility. So that's interesting. So this tells me this was not planned because I love this card. Of course, it means being flexible with spirit, right? Not everything needs to go to plan. Sometimes the most beautiful miracles and blessings happen in divine detours. And I'm sure you can reflect on moments of your life where you took a different route and something amazing happened, or you did something out of the ordinary and you met someone amazing, or, things kind of fell in place. So flexibility asks for you to really trust your inner guidance and not always go into the plan. If anything piques your curiosity in the month of October, Spirit's asking you to go down a divine detour. Be flexible with your path and your journey. Don't be afraid to change things up. Let's get you another one. What else is going on in October for Aquarius? you have share your voice. So who's the singer out there, right? Or you guys are creatives. Come out the cave. Interesting. I did feel like you were coming out of a place, like feeling the air on your skin. Persecution and expression. So persecution is interesting because it is about maybe actually finally taking action on the idea that you've always had, and expression is about you expressing yourself. So we've got a lot of a lot of these cards are all aligning for you to really start putting yourself out there. Some of you are meant to be famous. Some of you are meant to be in a spotlight. Some of you are just meant to share yourself. Maybe it's about having your own business. Maybe it is just about impacting people through your own charities. Whatever it is, Aquarius, you're meant to be heard and seen. Sorry, I'm going to calm down a little bit here, but my goodness. I'm hearing a message which is maybe the world needs you. And I feel like I'm getting goosebumps, but it's just this energy of you're holding yourself back, but people need to hear from you, or there's some impact that you're going to make on the world that's very important for the world. And it's almost like you may feel like you're shy and hesitant and like, who am I to do all these things, and people might judge me and think, who am I to, put myself out there. But it's almost like what is the phrase that they wanted me to say, was something about let me think about it. It's almost like you're making the world miss out on how, I don't know, how you could impact them by holding to yourself. It's almost like your gifts are very important, so they want you to use it, is ultimately what I want to say. Anyway, let's dive into some tea leaf tarot. Let's see what other random specific things might happen during the month of October. But this is big for your purpose. I really feel like that. And especially for a lot of you, I'm seeing 10th house energy, which of course is your public image, your reputation, and of course your career. So you have news on its way. So in the month of October, you will be hearing some news. What's interesting is you have a goal-oriented person, and that could be you or someone else around you that might be significant during this month. But what's interesting, as you can see, you're hitting a bullseye here. So I feel like as long as you have a clear idea of where you want to go, you are going to reach it. Now you have Eagle, which says triumph over troubles and obstacles. So I love that. I did say that new life card was suggesting that it does feel like obstacles are being lifted. And then you have Hat. You'll be playing a different role. And I feel like that's your identity, right? It feels like you're putting on a different hat, a different role. Okay, let's dive in. Some of you guys could be going into new jobs and careers, like the Earth one was saying. A new industry, or again, just showing up different in the world. All right, what's the overall energy of the month of October for Aquarius? Three of Wands. Is that reverse? Here it is. No more waiting. No more waiting for the right time, the perfect time, or for something to come in and give you another sign. Aquarius, it's making me laugh because where it's like, oh, if I see a white butterfly, then I'm gonna go and do it, and that will be my sign from the universe to go ahead with it. And then you see a white butterfly, and it's like, maybe that was just a coincidence. Maybe I'll wait for the next one, or maybe instead I'll have a blue butterfly so it's more different. I'm feeling like that's you procrastinating and asking for signs that you're already receiving, but it doesn't feel, maybe that's not for me. It's just that kind of energy. So I feel like you might have been talking yourself out of something because you felt like you were not ready, but Spirit's saying you're ready. No more waiting around. News is on its way. It's time to go. All right, anything else for the energy of October for Aquarius? The Star. Now I'm going to cover this because she is naked here. This is your card. This is your month to shine. And I'm not going to lie, you guys have a really incredible month ahead of you where it is about your fame, your fortune, your wish fulfillment, you and your goals, right? The star can also represent the North Star, your purpose, where you're being guided to go. Eight of Pentacles, it is directly linked to your work or your projects or in actively doing some work to see results. Building on your skills, learning more things. This is a month of hard work, of balancing and juggling things, but you are going to see yourself shining. The Star, healing, worthiness. And the Star is your card, by the way, so it is really all about you this month and you really being your most true and authentic self because she's naked. And what does that mean? She's her true self, right? She's not covered with anything. She's authentically herself. So that's the energy that's coming up for you guys, where you're no longer trying to fit in by being someone else. You're almost starting your own lane, is what I'm hearing. And the Five of Pentacles. I wonder if this month people will be coming to you for help and support. And I think that's the amazing gift, is like when you start to be yourself, you're going to realize that there's a lot of people like you out there and they're all struggling with the same thing. So I see like a lot of you are stepping into being an inspiration. And this can even be in terms of the hope, right? It doesn't have to be super crazy, but it does feel a bit like the moment that you start embracing yourself, you're going to start seeing a lot of people saying, how did you do it? Because I'm struggling with the same thing. Okay, anything else for the month of October? Anything that Aquarius might need to be aware of? The Hangman reversed. Ironic. Why? Well, because the Hangman in an upright usually suggests that you guys are stuck. And it's a time of stagnancy. It's a time to reflect and observe, not movement. But now it's reversing, and the time is now. October is a time to get your projects moving. It is a time to start this new life, this new you, the routines that you want to do, whatever it is that's going to change your world. You already know what it is. It's time to start doing that. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any advice that you have for Aquarius in the month of October? King of Wands. Now, I always say the King and Queen of Wands are both like my famous King and Queens because I don't know, they just are, because they're known to kind of attract attention. So the King of Wands, of course, is you really standing in a position of being able to have amazing ideas and taking action on them. Some of you, again, it is about putting yourself up on a throne here, knowing your worth, knowing your value. Some of you, it is about taking action on creative projects, especially in terms of career, but it really could be about anything that makes you passionate. Stand true to that, being in a powerful position. And also the King of Wands is very well known for being able to adapt. You don't need to know the whole road ahead, and that might be what's scaring you. Trust in your ability to pivot, right? And just like the flexible card is saying, it makes a lot of sense. And I feel like you guys are this tiger here, where it's like, if something's, just trust in your ability to know in the moment where you need to go. That's, I think, is what's going to help you. Okay, my angel. Well, I've been yapping on, but this is an incredible month for you, so I really want you to affirm that. But yeah, that's what I got, Aquarius. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Have an amazing month, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hello, Pisces. So the month of October for you, we have an affirmation for you to think about, to say to yourself, to affirm during the month of October. And this says, life is full of love and I find it everywhere I go. So this is something to put in the comments if you would like to enter for the giveaway. On the back of the card, it says, you experience what you choose to direct your attention towards. If you want to experience more love, concentrate on loving yourself first. All right, my angels. So that's a really powerful one. And what's interesting is I pulled you an animal spirit card and two came out. Now, I feel like you are the wolf, and I'm going to dive into the meaning behind that card. And I feel like the spirit wants you to have more otter energy, which is about love and playfulness and emotion. So it does feel a little bit like October is bringing you more vulnerability, more emotional, caring connections, most likely, and learning how to open your heart up. Because when we think about wolf, or when I think about wolf, I think of a lone wolf. Maybe you guys are used to doing things alone, or used to being independent, used to being quite fierce, and now you're having to lean a little bit into more loving connections or more vulnerability, opening that heart up and allowing other people into your life. Whatever it is, I'm going to dive into it for you anyways. I want to read the wolf first because I feel like this is an energy that might be familiar to you. So this says, the wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching. So these can be really good things to start doing during this month as well. The wolf gets into trouble, though, when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. So, although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. So I wonder if you guys are, maybe it's your family, maybe you're a manager in some way and having to guide others. It's almost like, how can you create safe space for people to really be themselves and not try to, maybe not let your judgments try to mold people into the way that you want them to be, right? Even if it's in the good of intentions of them, it's really about how you can include everyone or embrace everyone without excluding people at the same time. So that's interesting. How to bring this energy into balance is practicing letting go. All right, so that's interesting. Okay, tolerance is interesting as well. Okay, next thing that we have in the otter is about playfulness and contentment. So this says, perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck. The otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and reverence for life itself. Without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism, period. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy in the month of October. All right, what would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebrations await. All right, so I think it is really about being grateful and having gratitude over the things that you have and not focusing too much on lack or how things need to be. It really is about practicing that letting go and being more tolerant of things that are uncomfortable to you, so that you can be in this beautiful, playful energy and going back to a child again. So what's interesting is we have a pack leader. Maybe you guys are parents or just are in a position of authority, like we were saying, and they're wanting you to kind of be more playful here. Instead of being a serious leader, to try to bring a bit more play. Anyway, whatever that means for you, we're going to dive into the cards for you, my angels. So let's dive into the wisdom of the oracle cards, one of my favorites. So how is October going to be for Pisces? What is it bringing? What's the overall energy? Okay. Ooh. Okay, my deck is kind of like upside down, as you can see here. What's interesting is all that glitters is in the upright and the leg up is in reverse. So the leg up is usually what I said, right? Being open and vulnerable, allowing yourself to depend on others, to receive help and support. And all that glitters is about unmasking situations, and not everything is as it seems on the surface. I'm going to dive into that though, because that's a bit of a mystery. October for Pisces, what's going on in the month of October? For Pisces, so the first card that's coming through is the Great Gathering, and this says it's all coming together, intuitive hits, and your soul tribe. So it is about meeting people who do align with you, who might be here to help you in some way. Or my angels, it also is really everything's coming together, so everything is already in alignment. Trusting that is going to be very important for you. I can't wait to clarify the other cards because I think there's a very big message coming through for you. The next thing for October is stillness with the swan. All right, so that is really about going within, and you guys are the Hanged Man in the normal tarot deck, so that is about stillness and observation. So I wonder if meditation is going to be so good for you during this month, where you can really sit with yourself and really think about maybe those uncomfortable feelings or thoughts. What are they telling you about yourself or your belief systems or what you've been holding on to, or what's blocking you from opening up? So stillness is going to be important. All right, my angels. All right, let's see. I'm going to dive into the tarot. I actually have a few specific messages for you for October. Let's see, for Pisces. Thank you. Moon. So October represents big changes coming into your life with the moon. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. So again, it is not about forcing anything. And of course, maybe standing up for yourself if people are trying to force you. Sun, happiness and well-being. And Camel, which says persevere and you will overcome your problems in this month. Okay, so the sun being there is beautiful. You have the sun and the moon. So big changes and heightened emotions, which might all be leading you towards happiness and well-being. Okay, I'm going to dive into the tarot immediately because I need to know, what is the overall energy of October for Pisces? Overall energy of October for Pisces. What is the overall vibe? Nine of Swords. All right, so you are going to see, and maybe you're already feeling this, that you are very conscious and aware and overthinking things. This is really about doubts and fears. This is really about thinking of worst case situations, and maybe you do have a lot of issues that you're worried about. Maybe you're just dealing with them all yourself. And what's interesting is that Knight of Cups coming through. So some of you, this could be a love interest here to help you, but this for a lot of you is going to be about you being open and vulnerable with yourself and how you're feeling, and really maybe prioritizing your emotional well-being. Because right now you're in your head, Pisces, because of the sword energy, and I think that that is going against your very own essence, because Pisces, you're a water sign. Your emotions are actually very important to you because you are also the most sensitive sign. You guys are very deeply intuitive. And you have a lot of feelings and emotions, and them being in balance is very important for your success, is what I'm feeling. And I feel like you being overly logical and you be overly in your mental energy is actually a little bit of what's creating a bit of a downfall for you, because King of Swords was there in a Seven of Swords, where it's peeking at me as well. And I feel like being logical is nothing wrong with it, right? It helps us be clear, helps us be strategic, helps us to find a plan and stick to it, be disciplined. But I feel like it's not helping you in the month of October. So I do feel like Spirit's wanting you to kind of tap into that emotional well-being again. Sorry for hitting the mic so many times. The Knight of Cups is about filling up your cup. So maybe you need a timeout, right? Maybe you do need to go into your feelings and emotions and that stillness. I'm going to clarify it for you. Let's use a different deck to do that. Why is the Nine of Swords energy of October? The Chariot. So a lot of you guys are worried about moving forward. Okay, but the Six of Wands is a little reminder. These are just fears. You are going to have success and victory with whatever you guys are worried about. Knight of Cups. Why is this here? The Ten of Cups, which is your emotional well-being, your family, your home, support system, emotional fulfillment. What exactly are the fears or worries? The Fool. So it feels like for a lot of you, what you are actually worried about is maybe a leap of faith that you guys need to take, or a journey you guys feel like you need to embark on, or maybe it's just like you just want to start a new life. The Chariot and the Fool, both of these are about new beginnings, basically, because the Chariot has to leave behind a familiar in order to go after the star, which is your dreams and goals. The Fool, taking a leap of faith down a new path. So what exactly is the worries? What's the Nine of Swords doing here? The Page of Swords, which can be about that you guys are really, there's nothing wrong with observing, but I think you're overly observing, and you're not, it's blocking you from actually just diving into things. So maybe there's a heavy procrastination, heavy scrutiny on yourself, right? Maybe you guys are really just scrutinizing, criticizing yourself, and feeling, very far away from your dreams and goals. So Spirit wants you to take a leap of faith during this month. King of Wands, this could be in terms of your career. This could be in terms of you, actually taking action on your ideas, sitting in a passionate energy. For some reason, this feels like the wolf in balance, which is being a leader in a very amazing way, being a very kind yet assertive leader. What's blocking Pisces? Emperor. Trying to be in control. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Emperor. I actually really like the Emperor card because it's great for being in control. But because of the messages that we've had coming through for you guys, it feels a little bit like there's an imbalance. So this Libra season, right? Libra season, that justice makes a lot of sense for October, because you guys are learning how when maybe there's too much control, maybe you're dominating too much, maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself. So it does feel like this month is really calling for some balance. You can be a leader, you can be an emperor, you can have an empire, but still also honor and respect your feelings, emotions, and your heart. I'm going to dive into your heart energy because I think it's important. The Tower. Well, yeah. I see walls that you've created around your heart space, Pisces. Maybe since a breakup, or since something may have happened, or maybe it's a fear of falling apart, right? If I open my heart, or if I do things from a vulnerable space, in an emotional space, then you feel like you'll lose control. The Tower in the heart space of Pisces. Ace of Cups trying to come out this then. Tower card. flipped. King of Pentacles. So this is all about you feeling stable and secure. So that Tower card, you in your heart, feels a little bit like something might threaten your security and what you built for yourself. I wonder if there's an inner truth going on here, that if you were to accept it or look at it, something would have to kind of fall apart. You know, let's say, for example, maybe you're doing too much, right? Maybe you're working too hard, and to actually really honor that your feelings are saying that, it might mean that you have to change your work hours, and maybe you don't want to do that because that might affect your money. You know, it's that kind of thing where you feel like it's going to create a loss in your life. So let's just see. Why is the leg up card reverse? Two of Wands, because you're focusing a lot on your future. The Magician. I'm going to change decks here so I can really see it. So the Two of Wands and the Magician is great because this tells me you're calling in big dreams, big goals, big things. Did I pull out one of these cards? Yeah, I did. So nothing's wrong with your approach. I just feel like there's a blockage here that's, and maybe it's just about, again, just having more fun, being more giddy, playing a bit more. The All That Glitters card. Unmasking. The Magician as well, which the Magician is also known to be someone who does have maybe tricks up their sleeve, right? It doesn't have to say that you are that way, but it can be a little bit of a false image. The Mask. What is the advice that you have for Pisces during the month of October? Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing, and in a really good way. The Eight of Wands is a really good reminder that things are moving in the right direction with the changes that are coming up here. What are the changes? Four of Cups. Moving out and no longer rejecting your feelings and emotions, really actually prioritizing them. You may feel like you don't need them, but you do. Four of Cups being here is saying that you're moving out of complacency and feeling jaded and bored with your life, and actually starting to open up to emotional fulfillment, not just material world fulfillment and progress and hard work. You're actually starting to feel like you enjoy it. How is this shift going to show up in the life of Pisces? Ten of Swords is through an ending. I did say that. Maybe it's just an end of an old self, right? I'm going to clarify that for you. Why is the Ten of Swords here? King of Wands, which is an energy I want you to step into. So it does feel a little bit like a shift and a change going on in how you deal with things. Again, feeling more optimistic. The King of Wands, like, no problem. Like, there's another way. Like, it almost feels a little bit like having more abundant ideas and not just feeling fixated on that. I don't know, like Ten of Swords, Seven of Wands, something you've been resisting. Now I'm seeing Abraham Hicks, and it's reminding me of the need to kind of not just go with the flow. It's not about just letting things pass you by like that. I feel like life is showing you resistance for a reason, and they want you to really figure out that maybe it's resistance because you're not supposed to go down that path, and that they're really trying to redirect you to something that's going to be much better for you. King of Wands. So a lot of you, this could be in terms of career and your ideas, or again, it's how you show up in the world. So October really is about a change in how maybe your path, your journey, a change in you and how you feel. So in October, you're stepping away from fear and doubt and worries. They're saying that you will be healing that. Okay, so that's that stillness here with the Four of Swords of you really healing. What are you running away from? And the Otter, Six of Pentacles. I do see humanitarianism. Is that humanitarianism? Making, like, doing good deeds, and the Hermit being here as well. A lot of you guys might need to slow down a little bit during this time. Six of Pentacles says that I feel like you're going to be changing up your routines, how you spend your day, and again, bringing balance here where you're releasing control. Maybe you guys are starting to be a bit more open to, okay, how do I feel today? What do I want to do today? What would make me happy today? And kind of following that, and not just doing what needs to be done, but also mixing it with a bit of fun, and helping and teaching others, of course, too, could be something that brings you joy. During spreading your light. Seven of Swords. Why is the Seven of Swords here? The High Priestess. So this is about secrets. Why is a secret coming through? The Death card. Like I said, it feels like in order to accept something, it will create change. What is this information or secret? The Hanged Man. So this is something that only really you can, you know, really understand within yourself. This is, again, your card. So what's the secret is your own enlightenment. It's your own epiphany that's going to arise within the month of October that really is going to create a big shift. And Seven of Swords in a way can be that maybe you've been, you know, running away from what you really want to do or what will make you happy. Some of you, it is just that maybe you've been beating around the bush a little bit, procrastinating, worrying so much you've not been taking action on something. Or again, maybe you've not been living a life that makes you happy. So again, that truth may mean that maybe you have to switch up jobs. Maybe you guys are needing to cut off people that, again, like you're just like, do they make me happy? Maybe it's about your routines. So it's really about bringing more fun into your life, more love into your life, for sure, for sure. I want to pull out more for you. What do I want to get? Any advice that you have for Pisces or any other energies that October will bring for Pisces? What are the themes of October? Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. That is you opening up your heart. And the Nine of Pentacles is about self-sufficiency. Some of you will be starting your own career, for example, like your own, so that you can gain financial freedom for some. Queen of Cups. This feels like your energy, where I feel like it's really about you feeling whole within yourself and doing things that make you feel whole within yourself. Of course, trusting in your heart and your intuition and where it's guiding you to go. Leading with your heart. And the Nine of Pentacles is about your stability and your independence. You know, where it's like when you do something that you love, it doesn't feel like work. So I feel like I wonder if that's something to leave you with, to think about. And the same with other areas of your life, right? If it's something that you really want and actually, you know, brings your heart to life, then it won't feel too much like hard work. It feels like it's something that's going to help you to grow, or it's something that, you know, can be worked on, and it's almost like a more positive outlook. The Nine of Pentacles, all of your work and what you put into things will come back to you. It's about feeling proud in the month of October about how far you've come, who you are, who you're becoming, and not needing to rush, right? I wonder if that's what both of these are about, because the Nine of Cups as well is her just chilling in her garden, right? She's not rushing anywhere, right? She already has an abundance around her. So I do get the sense that maybe this is an element of not slowing down in a way that you're not making progress, or, you know, this is about financial freedom and seeing results. So it is good for that during this month. But I think it is more about opening your heart up a bit. And maybe for some of you, if you're single, that is about being a bit more going, okay, maybe actually I am ready for love. Some of you might be so focused on career and building yourself up, and you're in this masculine energy, which again is not about gender. It's about force, control, creating walls and barriers. The Tower is saying that Spirit is going to start to intervene here because this tower is built on faulty foundations, meaning that it's not just about you enjoying your time or wanting to, what is it? Like, I feel like you might be telling yourself something about why you have a blockage around your heart, and Spirit saying it's not helping you anymore. It might be hindering you more than anything else. So I hope this reading has made some sense. I really wish that this reading would be a little bit more, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Basically this month, you're really changing how you're leading your life and how you're leading others. And I think that's a beautiful shift. You're starting to find more giddiness, more fun, more playfulness. Starting to be able to rely and trust in others a little bit more and open your heart up a bit, you know, to guide others, maybe to be themselves without needing to change. I just feel like there's something about your heart space that's going to be opening up during this month, or needs to. Spirit might be cracking it open a little bit for you. Remember, stillness, I think, is important. All right, my angels. So really spending time to yourself is going to be very important for you to understanding what's going on within and what spirit really wants you to pay attention to. But anyway, Pisces, I love you guys. Wish you all the best. Let me know in the comments if it made any sense during the month of October. But aside from all of this, I'll see you guys in the next video.